key strategies that Salvador employs in order for him to remain determined to accomplish the life that he wants to live. Join us tomorrow. Thank you.
Once again, we are glad you are joining us this very first day of July 2015. My name is Mebo Kebirunji, and as usual, we'll have Brian Mulondo, Joel Senyonyi, Simon Kasiate with a big story and the press review, everyday life, and obviously Wimbledon, where we will be giving you a roundup of what happened there in our sports update at the end of the show. But for now, we have some breaking news. Another sheikh has been killed here in Kampala. This Sheikh Ibrahim Kiria, who was the spokesperson of the Chibuli sect, I should say, was gunned down in Wales. The footage will be showing a little bit later. But for now, I'm joined by Sudhir Biarahanga. Sudhir, good morning. Good morning. I don't think we've been on set together.
No.
Okay.
It's the first time.
Do you wake up this early?
Yeah, very early. By 5, I was up and ready to roll.
Okay. Now, this is a very sad thing, especially during this time of Ramadan. Another sheikh killed here in Kampala. I think the million-dollar question is, who is killing these sheikhs?
You see, previously, the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, Major General Cleric has come out strongly to say these are linked to ADF. The ADF, you know, after they were, ousted from some eastern parts of Congo and the rest, so they think it is linked to ADF. However, there has been, there is nothing more clear about that has come out, maybe like a report to suggest like that. They say investigations are going on. We saw several others who are also shot. This is happening at a time when I think last month another sheikh was shot in Mbale, and then also in December around Christmas, another sheikh was shot here in Kampala, and then another one also shot on Entebbe Road, attached, that is Sheikh Abdul, attached to Chibuli Mosque. You get it? And all these matters, you see, these are people who are very well trained. They know what they are doing, just like how the snipers say, one shot, one kill. These guys are really, really well trained, and they know how to move around, and they trail the suspects. The unknown people who they want to locate, those who would never expect that this could be happening to them or anytime, the sheikhs. These guys seem to trail you until they execute their mission. Because when you see Sheikh Kiria had gone for the burial, at that time police alleges he had security, a bodyguard, close monitoring person. And then at some point, he stopped in Ibweyogere at Ryder Hotel. He had a meeting. He met a certain friend of his. And then shortly after, it is alleged, or the police are claiming, he dropped his bodyguard in Kireka. And then he drove himself, stopped to buy fruits. Since it's Ramadan, he stopped. And if you look at what happened with Joan Kagezi, she had just stopped. She had not even fruits. And then the guys who were trailing her on a border shot her twice, and they took off. And nobody knows where they disappeared from. And including even what happened in Belgrade with Sheikh, Sheikh Kiria. You can see it leaves so many questions and a lot to be desired. These guys come on borders, have no number plates, they execute a mission, they run away.
They have helmets, I assume.
Nobody has seen them. Truly, there is nobody who has seen them. And of course, when this incident happened, there was a truck that was, going to Ginger. And then when they saw the shooting, they tried to flash lights, full headlights. And these guys realized maybe somebody could be, about to identify or counteract. They shot around. About other 2 people were shot, though it's not clear whether all of them were dead. But so I understand that 2 people were shot on spot.
He was with someone else in the vehicle?
No. He had stepped out.
Someone standing by was also killed. Who was the second person?
After the truck, flashed lights at the assailants, they pulled out the guns and shot whoever was around. Including the truck, you can see a bullet hole around the screen. and they took off. When you see how all these things are unveiling, you can see that these guys sit down, plan, and they are very sure they will run away with it. And it leaves a lot to be desired, because you see, even the other time the president was saying, it's very hard for anybody like police to go to court and win a case of murder. You have no witness who has seen what happened. It's very hard, to gather all the intelligence that can lead to any prosecution, because it's a hearsay, no evidence. And that's why even most people were proposing that the bigger parts of Kampala should have, CCTV cameras on many streets. Maybe if there are no men or, no boots on the ground, they could be of help.
Okay, I'm being told we do have pictures, footage of I think what transpired after the shooting yesterday.
Sheik Hassan has been one of the prominent sheikhs in the Muslim faith, and we want to first of all send our utmost condolences to his closest family and to the Muslim fraternity and to the public at large. It is true that he has been shot dead. We've at Weyogere where we are, and the body has been transferred to Mulago. However, arrangements are there to have it shifted to for post-mortem. Now, we had given him close body protection, all-round security protection, which included the close body protection of some of our best officers under the VIP, the Very Important Persons Protection Unit, who have been all along moving not only with him but with all the other sheikhs who were in that vulnerable situation and whom we had given protection. This morning, they left early in the morning, had some meetings at Ryder Hotel, and then he had a burial at Nachifuma of a nephew at 11 a.m. today. They left at around 3:30 to come back to Kampala, and they proceeded after Gayaza. They went and met one of, there's a lady with whom they had a meeting at Nankulabye, and that was at around between 4 going to 5, and after that meeting he went and broke the fast at one of the mosques behind Ring Road. That was around 7. So it is at around 9:30 that he offered to drop the bodyguard who stays at our barracks in Chireka. So after dropping him, he was now driving to his home, but it is at Chireka, at Weyogere where we are, that he was attacked and shot dead, which is a very, very unfortunate incident. So this really shows that for all this period, he has been surveilled, and the thugs who carried out this attack took advantage of that security lapse within those 30 minutes after they could have monitored that he was all by himself. So it was he was in a very vulnerable situation on his own. This shows you that the threats against the sheikhs are actually still there. Their enemies are still outside there. And we are not coming up with a motivation yet at this stage, but all along we had come issuing alerts on acts of terror local and foreign, and calling upon vigilance of various persons, the military and civilians.
And that is the spokesperson of the police, Fred Enanga, talking about the unfortunate and timely death of Sheik Ibrahim Kiria, who is the spokesperson of the Chivuli sect. He was gunned down yesterday at around 11 p.m. after dropping off his askari. So clearly, as you were saying, these people know who you are. They know your pattern. I want to ask, these killers who have been on rampage, what do they stand to gain? Now, like killing this gentleman, Sheik Kiria.
You see, there are so many, theories and thoughts. It's my opinion. If they are linking them to ADF, and nobody would ask, why would ADF be interested in killing the sheikhs? Who, they are of the same religion, if I might say. Maybe they might not be believing in the same doctrine, but why would they be killing them? That is the reason. I mean, the question that, that has not been answered yet. Either, if they are linked, there must have been something. You see, in any military or any of that kind of nature in terms of, rebellions and what, if you know that somebody has a secret and maybe somehow turns against you, then you have no choice but to eliminate him. Or if somebody knows so much about you and is yet to reveal that, then you have no choice but to eliminate him. So I wonder whether the ADF are using that, or they're taking that path in terms of eliminating the sheikhs.
Because however, they know something about them.
They know something about them, and maybe they know that they know also something about them. However, the police are the ones who are supposed to demystify all this. They either have to quickly, to up the game and come up people that 1 month we have been killed. It's about 18. Knows all the corners, continue to the wanted sheikhs,
yes,
or those who are so much in danger. What are the orders that you give to the bodyguards?
But sometimes even like in the case of Joe and Kagezi, you get used to them and you're like, you know what, I don't need someone today. My home is just 2 minutes away. I'm just stopping here to buy fruits. What's going to happen to me at 11 o'clock? So people get complacent, I think. Yeah, so you can't exactly
but people get complacent, but we see like what happened, the Joe and Kagezi murder. It should have been an eye-opener to the security, to everybody. You see, so many things were hurled at police, hurled at the state. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why didn't you protect, knowing that she was handling a sensitive case, and also dealing with sophisticated people? Why didn't you do enough? People felt there was a little bit of laxity on the side of police and the government, or the people, or the responsible authorities. However, we are seeing the same thing happening to the sheikhs. What are the orders that those bodyguards get? Is it right for me to come and tell you that here I'm free? Who will be blamed when something wrong happens? I think there has to be a system, there has to be a mechanism that the police and the orders must change. That if they feel your life is in danger, you have no choice, and that right of saying, I want to be alone, should be denied for the sake of your safety. And at the same time, not to have a bad name as police. Because you can clearly see that, maybe genuinely, this guy also thought, maybe they have been doing it more often. I do not think it was the first time that Sheik Kiria had dropped the bodyguard and then he was walking away alone or driving away alone. He must have done it several times.
And these guys watching.
And people watching, and people know. And when it becomes a routine, you see, let me tell you, when it comes to security, when something becomes a routine, it puts your life in danger. And that's why, like everybody was saying, after the Joe and Kagezi, they knew that at home they could not get Joe and Kagezi. And looking at how Joe and Kagezi's home was, and then the location, and how, the neighborhood, it was very hard for those guys to escape. if they had to execute that mission. So they knew that every other evening she had to stop by a fruit stall. And now if you're stopping by the road every other evening to buy fruits at a booth, and these guys know that's your routine, they can always plan. The day you will move without bodyguards is the day they will hit you. And you can never know whether they are trailing you or not until, and you'll not even live to see that you are being trailed. It will have to be told, the story will be told by other people. But these guys are very smart. These guys know where the gaps are within the security system, and these guys are living with us.
I'm just being told now that we have a story that was done by Francis Jingo here about Sheikh Ibrahim Kiria speaking about the threat to his life, and I think we are ready to play that clip now.
The story about the murder of Muslim clerics in the country reads like a destructive poker game. With a poison leadership atmosphere, the three factions at Kibuli Mosque, Odi Kampala, and William Street are accusing each other for the death of these Islamic scholars. Reports have emerged that there could be a list of those who have been listed for elimination. Sheikh Ibrahim Hassan Kiria of the Kibuli Muslim faction believes is amongst those being pursued by these death squads.
My name is among those names. Haji Najib Sonko is one of those. Haji Ahmad Al-Bega is one of those. The Deputy Supreme Mufti Sheikh Mahmoud Chibate is one of those. The Amirul Ummah Dr. Haruna Jemba is one of them.
The Mufti Sheikh Rabadani Mubaje this afternoon told NTV that it's unfortunate Muslims are turning guns against each other.
Condemn in the strongest terms possible the killings, assassinations that are taking place.
Acting on the directive of his boss, the commandant of very important person protection unit, VIPPPU, Elias Kasirabo, met Muslim leaders at Kibuli Mosque.
They promised to give us protection, personal protection. So that's what we are working out with them.
Jingo Francis, NTV.
Now that's actually quite sad because that's the late Ibrahim Kiria who was gunned down last night at around 11 p.m. in Bweyogerere. He was given the police protection that he talks about in that video, and he had just dropped off the askari a few minutes before he was gunned down as he was buying fruits in a Kampala suburb. Now we can see religion is very fundamental to this. Now yesterday in Tunisia, after the terrorist attack on Friday, the Ministry of the Interior decided to shut down a couple of mosques.
Around 8 of them.
Yes, and this is Tunisia, which is an essentially Islamic state. Uganda isn't. But do you think such drastic measures could take place? Could the police do that, or the government step in just as a way to maybe curb this, or to, because people are going to be very upset when they see this, and maybe it may cause more tension?
Because the moment you try to again deepen the fault lines, you will have maybe a worse scenario. You see, Uganda is a different story from Tunisia, and then looking at in terms of the population, you realize, Tunisia is it's dominated by the Muslims, definitely. Yes. And coming up with such drastic measures can also cause another chaos. Someone will tell you, why would you deny me a right to go to a mosque to pray? Why would you deny me a right, to worship?
No, preventative arrest.
These,
preventative measures.
I think those drastic measures, apply in the drastic situations like what happened in Tunisia. And then at the same time, looking at what is happening in the Muslim fraternity, it could be a different story. You would say, maybe let me close the mosques. These attacks are not done in the mosques. These attacks are done outside the mosques. Somebody is stopping to buy something in a supermarket. He walks out, tap, he's shot dead. Someone is driving home and he's about to reach his gate, he's shot dead. Someone is always a way out of home. They are not even doing all this at home because they know maybe it's hard. or they could be trailed, that, you know, the silence. So they have the formula, and the formula seems to be working for them.
Clear.
Not until the police or the security operatives, and including the public, increase on the vigilance and ensure that they are beating the silence at their own game. Or else, it's very hard. Even if you said let all mosques get closed, still you're not going to say, let me hold hostage all the Muslims here so that I see who wants to shoot the other. If, like Kiria, you've seen, you know, in the video.
He knew he was on the list.
He was on the list, and he's giving you a list of
other people. I mean, I would be very scared if you mentioned my name.
You get it? Yeah, definitely. You've seen he has a list of so many, and those are the few he can get off cuff. So that tells you one thing, that these people know who they want, and it's a matter of time, and when they feel they should get them. You get it? Because they have proved that even if you provide security, we shall always get you. So what next? That is a question that maybe the police can answer. What next? Because the list is long. They know who you are. Even if you had come up with those drastic measures to close the mosques, are you going to run away from Uganda? You'll still be around. If they need you, they'll come for you. It's not like it's like a general attack, like how you see a suicide attack. A suicide attack, you might not achieve your mission, which was to kill maybe 2 people who are in that mosque. Somehow, maybe the people you wanted to kill could survive, and those who are innocent maybe are the ones who will die. But these guys, they map out. They know that I want this particular person so and so, and I'm going to get him at this point, and when. And you'll be surprised if these guys even have when to execute. You'll be surprised if they know when, where. It's a matter of where, but they know when the rest will be killed, and they will ensure they achieve their mission.
Now let's talk about the suspects who are in court. When are they next appearing? Are we making any headway there? Any evidence? About 18 people in court who have been linked to ADF, and I was actually reading earlier, some of them are have some links to rebels in Congo as well.
Yeah, but you see the fact that you know Jamil Mukulu,
yes,
the rebel, the commander. Jamil Mukulu, you know, it's another kind of success story for the government after arresting, you know, the leader. But still, you see, there are so many remnants of ADF that are still, you know, surviving, even including in Congo. The other day, there was a fight between the Congolese army and some of the few remnants in some eastern parts of Congo who are still, you know, there. And if you look around, during the fight when they were trying to oust, you know, the Congolese army and the UN, you know, forces, you know, the allied forces, when they were trying to push the rebels out of eastern Congo, they killed. When I looked at the videos and the pictures and, you know, the profiles of the people that had killed, most of them escaped. You don't know where these guys ran to. It was like an army of about 3,000, close to 1,000. You don't know where these guys went. They could be living within. They could be in the neighborhood. You get it? However, what's happening within, the case of, the suspects, you see, Joan Kagezi was at the center of it all. And the moment when she got shot, there was a little bit of, you know, stalling. But all these cases have been reinstated, and they are going on, and the proceedings are going on. And however, it's not clear when, you know, justice will be seen to be done.
Okay, thank you very much. Sudhir Biarhanga has joined us here for a special, should I say, showing of the morning at NTV show as we talk about Sheik Ibrahim Kiria, who was gunned down yesterday at about 11 p.m. in Bweyo Gerere. And he was someone who knew he was being targeted by these thugs, by these killers, and unfortunately, despite the police protection which he had dropped off, he was killed. Our thoughts are with the family. We now cross over to the gentleman for the press review this morning.
A very good morning, Mabel. Certainly not a good morning in those circles, especially with the story you just analyzed for us together with Sudhir Hanga, none of that is captured in any of the dailies this morning because it happened after the papers had gone to bed. So we are looking at the Daily Monitor, the Observer, and of course the Red Pepper. All of us headlining with something to do with, except the Daily Monitor, strangely. Politics, Mama Mbabazi Museveni is on the front page of the Red Pepper and the Observer, while in the Daily Monitor we've gone something corruption related. The army is probing some 1,500 of their own over forged papers, as well as lawyers and a judge implicating the pension scam facing a probe as announced by the Chief Justice. We'll be back with more of these stories in the press review. Well, the trending story here is the return of more titles to Buganda. What does that ring a bell to, Joel? And very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Interesting times, the love for Buganda, or just that we're heading towards 2016?
Demagoguery, that's politics for you at the end of the day. When, you know, as 2016 draws nigh, you will see every so often His Excellency the President, and not just him, but other politicians, you know, trying to cajole people that they have been at odds with. So this is not news. It was totally expected that, you know, as we head to 2016, and who knows, around December, something nicer again might come up. So.
And where does that put people like you, the Baruri? What do you have from the government, perhaps ahead of 2016, or does your vote not count much? We're told in Nakasongola more than human beings do vote.
Oh yeah, cows vote in Nakasongola. Why? Because often there's more votes than the population there, you know. But look, if you ask, maybe you're asking the wrong person. Because
you guys travel back to vote and come back to the city. So
but you see, whether you travel or whatever the case might be, there's a poll register. There's people that are meant to vote from a particular place. So that's the point. Well, when you ask me about Maruli and so on, I don't know. Probably you're asking the wrong person. This person who. And I know this might sound, you know, the wrong way to some people, but I don't give a damn much about these tribes and so on. More important to me, I'm Ugandan, yeah? So this whole Nabaluri, we clamor for this, I don't know, sir, Mogezi Butamanya and so on, and then Kabaka, and then all
Why
these
do you speak that name with a slur? There are no punctuation marks in any of that.
Because often you refer to, it's not Mogeza Butamanya, it is Mogezi Butamanya. That's the
There's no full stop between those two names. Well, we are told here by the Red Pepper this morning that the NRM seem to have reached a dead ending as far as expelling Amam Baba's wife from the NRM. Remember, she is the leader of the Women's League of the NRM at that top body of theirs, and so we're told that, in fact, there's a story we're seeing in one of the dailies in here, that the caucus did not discuss the Mbabazi question when they met on Monday. It's here in the newspapers.
And quoting, I think it is the spokesperson of the caucus, Dennis Oboy, says it was unnecessary to discuss the Mbabazi candidature because our Changwanzi resolution still stands. We agreed that the president should be a flag bearer, and this position has not changed. We are only waiting for the SEC, that's the Central Executive Committee, and the National Delegates Conference to approve him.
I don't want to delve myself more into the matters of the NRM and the other way of it, but the NRM caucus in Parliament seems to want to make itself a law unto its own. The Chankwanzi resolution, in my understanding, was a wish by the members of Parliament who subscribe to the NRM. But the NRM contains more than just members of Parliament. It includes people like yourself, myself, who subscribe to the NRM.
Do I? You probably do, I don't.
And whose views also need to be listened to.
Absolutely.
In Nambole. And so I think they should just wait for the Nambole thing to show whether or not their resolution does stand and resonates across the entire board. How about that?
But you see, again, according to the Constitution, SEC is the one that approves, in a way it vets, and then whoever goes through that sieve, if you like, is the one that faces the National Delegates Conference. So, and much of the time, you know that the caucus is often preponderant over SEC, because many a member of SEC are members of the caucus, the parliamentary caucus. So it's as good as home and dry, but like you say, let them wait for the law to take its course. After all, they say they are law abiding. So what's their problem?
I'll tell you something. I've just seen an award here going to the Minister of Health, one of the Ministers of Health, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi from the World Health Organization, that's recognizing him for his sole efforts in putting in place the Tobacco Control Bill. And of course, you know what that means. The bill is still before Parliament. He's now Minister of Health. So rewarding him at this point in time is going to bolster his move to ensure that this bill is passed into law. Now, in spin, which is much of what I also do, is that when you see your company is headed to very hard times, arrange an award of some sort so that it can appear like, you know, it's doing extremely well. And I've seen this happen. Oftentimes when there's a huge agenda being driven by you know who, somehow they will find a way of making it legitimate and giving awards. That's why over 10 years down the road, when I looked back at my international award from CNN, I realized it had everything to do with LGBT, but well, that's another story for another day.
So are you saying that the World Health Organization is plunging?
No,
going down the drain?
Now they are trying to, you know, Mario Munsi was looking at other things, not the tobacco control.
What was he looking at? He's saying, look, I think
tobacco
is deleterious in this nation.
He has got a bigger problem in Kanungu and for the
growing?
country. No, forget about Kanungu and tobacco. We're talking about the guy from Kanungu, Amama Babazi. So now he had now put all his efforts in that direction. But the World Health Organization is trying to say, boss, remember that you know you have
there's
other
that bill
side
which
to do.
he sponsored. The speaker referred it to the health committee. But look, at the end of the day,
he's Minister of Health, so he can pull a
yeah.
few strings here, and the World Health Organization, whoever their strategist is, knows what they are doing.
Oh, come on. But obviously, I think he's one likable man. He's a good doctor, and I think he's concerned as a doctor that, look, the way we are ingesting tobacco in this country is at a very stupendous level. We need to lessen it to a certain level.
You clearly have not gone outside Uganda. But let's talk about that.
I'm concerned about Uganda.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you see,
it is killing Madagascar.
Yeah, you cannot say the way we are consuming coffee in Uganda when you have not consumed a cup of coffee in Kenya, or you've not seen how the Kenyans consume it. So let's just say you have no idea how other people smoke.
And I don't want to know.
Here is for you. And that's what exactly Maria Mutagamba is telling us on page 7 of the Daily Monitor. Promote a positive image of Uganda. The minister is telling you, members of the press. You, Joel, cannot sit here and start saying Ugandans are over-consuming tobacco. You do not know how the Turkish do it. You do not know how the Germans smoke. You don't know how the British smoke. So please always promote a positive image of Uganda. Matter of fact, Ugandans don't smoke in any way that is tangible enough for you to even put a finger to.
I don't know. I think the minister is right. Much of the time what we put out there is these grotesque images of this country, and we need to do a lot better, yeah? Because first, before we are journalists, we are Ugandans. So I think that's very important. Now, does that mean that we extricate ourselves from playing the role, actually, that the media should be playing, of highlighting the plight of this country if there is, the challenges that are going, making sure that our leaders put the spotlight on certain things. I think that's very important. When we say, look, our roads are bad, look, there's corruption, we're not painting a bad image of this country, at least not internationally. We are saying, look, can something be done about these things? I think that's very important. And I'm hoping that's not what the minister is talking about.
Very good. And so we're seeing here another story of donors backing Kajina on the UNRWA cleanup. And of course, the loudest voice and the representative voice of the donors came in from the European Union delegation, which has a huge substantial infrastructure budget and puts in place a number of donations with regard to road construction. And we've seen that from Masaka to Mbarara to Kabade to Katuna, and of course Jinja Bujiri and many other highways, including the bridge at Aswa. So clearly they are happy with the cleanup because a lot of their money ended up in abysses, not doing exactly what it was meant to do, including the money that should have done the second phase of the...
When did they wake up then?
If the European Union decides that now we're going to run UNRWA, you'll say now this is the usual neo-colonialism.
No, talk about previously when there were all these debacles
and that's why exactly Kajina is at UNRWA. The president did not wake up and dream. He had information, and some of this information came from the stakeholders, who include and are not...
Some people pulled a few strings here and there.
Absolutely, I would imagine.
Now, Keith Muhakanizi, the Permanent Secretary Minister of Finance, seems to open the Pandora's box here. People have been talking about minimum wage. We need it as soon as yesterday. But he says low on minimum wage will chase away investors. You see, he actually has a point, and then maybe he does not have it. Because he says, look, when you raise the bar so high, many person out there that are seeking to invest in this country will say, look, my wage bill will be so high, so let me go to, I don't know, Kenya or wherever the case might be. But then again, look,
Keith must understand.
If you want this country to get better, you've got to pay people better. That's important.
Keith must understand that a meal at the Serena is about 75,000 Uganda shillings the last I checked, the buffet for lunch. Serena will not put it at 20,000 so that everybody would walk inside there and afford it at 20,000. It's at 75,000 shillings. You either have it or you don't. Now, those investors who think that they should come to Uganda, take free labor and take away all the profits and remit them back to their countries, then we should make it clear this is not the country for them. We're not leaving a welfare state for investors. Keith must understand that whereas we're in dire need of investors. But they must come here and play ball.
We've got to set the bar.
Yeah, we've got to set the bar at some point. So we become this kind of door rug where every guy that doesn't even have anything to themselves comes here and claims to be an investor. We've seen them down in these Nakivuo Muse and all these Mukwano arcades downtown selling niginas and all sorts of little cheap merchandise that anybody in Uganda that is anything would clearly afford. And those are the investors they're talking about. No.
There's a quote that I love. When you discover what you are worth, you will stop giving discounts. Okay, I know some people can throw it off balance to the other side.
On the other hand, I mean, you can derail, you can berate Keith, but I know many Ugandans who have no attachment to the value that they have, if they even think they are valuable at all. You meet a young man who's looking for a job, he's asking, so are there job opportunities in ESCOM? You know me, even if I just came in there and they don't pay me anything, it's okay, this guy has got a degree.
And they begin that way desperately, when the rubber hits the road?
When you give such a guy a job you think he's going to be hardworking, then he begins putting his leg up like he's on a hammock drinking pina colada. How Museveni Rebel MPs meet was hushed. Now remember that the 4 experienced members of parliament will meet Museveni today, and now the Observer is telling us how this meeting was plotted and perhaps even giving an indication of how it will end. Get yourself a copy of the Wednesday edition of the Observer.
Quote of the day is made by your friend, former Vice President Gilbert Bukenya, on quitting
he
the
still
NRM.
can make a quote of the day?
He does, apparently. Therefore, those ones hoping to summon me on any matters involving NRM are just wasting time. You see,
Okay,
he formed a party.
Listen, I understand the NRM has all this idleness to itself. But I don't, I'm still cutting it some slack.
This is too low,
NRM, summoning Bukenya now.
He quit the party. He formed his own party called Party of National Unity.
Okay, have I been away too long?
There you are. So you're not even keeping tabs with your friends.
No, I mean, I think one day in politics is just too long. That's why eventually Besije, who I saw yesterday on the TV, say, I will not contest it. Contesting now.
But I see politicians are very capricious. Today they will say one thing, and then tomorrow, based on their mood or whatever the case
No,
might
on the
be.
circumstances. And I think we
Even
must
circumstances
cut them
know.
some slack. Politicians work with circumstances. There's nothing cut out of stone. I mean, it's like in my field,
Then you see,
which
do
is
not swear and cast something
which
in
is
stone.
corporate communications. The problem we find in corporate boardrooms, especially for places which are highly specialized, and I'll give an example, say ESCOM. Newton's law of motion, Ohm's law, Boyle's law.
You have learned all these things. ESCOM has done a good job.
Listen, all the things are cut out of stone. The formulae are the same. They will never change. From the time Newton discovered whatever Albert Einstein's formula of light, and they will never change. So when you sit in boardrooms and people are talking about their unchangeables, and you come in with the flair of the fact that, look, for us in corporate affairs, we deal with the moment. There is no wrong answer, there is no right answer, for as long as you can defend it and swim through the murky waters. And that is what politics is made of.
But you see,
you cannot say, oh, if the message of today met the message of yesterday, if the Mwendo of yesterday met the Mwendo of today, if the Museveni of 1997. No, these guys work with circumstances. if the Museveni of 1976 found himself in today's circumstances, believe you me, he would behave exactly like the Museveni of today.
Is that so?
If the Museveni of today
I don't know.
found himself in the circumstances of 1979, he would behave exactly like the Museveni of then.
But look, I think the point being made here is that it's important that our leaders be not disingenuous. Because you see, when you keep being fungible, today you're this and then tomorrow you alter your words or your way of doing things. You see, a man is as good as his words, yeah?
Oh, please.
Does that mean that we can't be perfect? Absolutely not. But you see, you need to be very careful, because now this takes away a chunk of people that believed in you, that thought, all right, this man here, he's believable.
Now the onus is on you to go back to these people and educate them on the changed circumstances that have informed your change of position.
Maybe that's the problem. They never do that well enough.
No, well, it's just that, you have these people who are fixed, who are, Boyle's law. For me, Archimedes' principle, if a body is wholly or partially immersed in a fluid, it will disperse a fluid volume which is equal to its...
So, but you see, when he says that, look, I will not stand except if, there are certain electoral alterations, changes for that matter, and then you come out and say, all right, I'm going to stand. So what has changed now? Look, I think Besigye has played an awesome role in making sure that, look, Ugandans get to the realization that His Excellency President Museveni is not a sacrosanct figure, he's not unchallengeable, and that's very important, yeah? But him getting back on the ballot paper, I think that's a blooper, I think, because he knows, for goodness sake, for as long as things remain the way they are, it's a tall order beating Museveni, rolling himself through the mud.
Well, here we are told that Amama does not fear being arrested. It's here in the Observer. I don't fear being arrested. Then, of course, Parliament swamped by poll reform proposals, and not much of that is going down to meet. Going over to the red paper. Yes, there's a huge picture here and a full-page story on the handover of the 800 titles going
80.
into the 80 titles to Buganda.
They would be happy to receive 800.
Well, there's a page that has nothing but bad news here. They're talking about the collapse of a minister who was rushed to India, and we're talking about, yes, John Nasasira. And at the same time, we are being fed to an exclusive story of the state of health of City Tycoon, Karim Hilji. We can only wish him a quick recovery if this story is true. We also told that the IGG, listen to this, John.
I'm listening.
The IGG has taken over Kazinda's properties.
The IGG.
Yes.
All right, that's long overdue because you see, monies were stolen, so at the end of the day, these monies have got to be recouped. How? Maybe attach some of these properties and so on. We were saying yesterday that, look, in some countries, the onus is on you to prove that actually, I am worth this much, I am worth these assets, etc., etc. Otherwise, your properties get attached. So let's do this more.
Well, of course, in Quick Talk, which is a very witty column in the Observer, they are talking to the leader of opposition, Wafula Ogutu, and of course that gives you an insight into his romantic life. But interestingly, they're flagging what you tell President Museveni if they met. Now, question is, don't they always meet? Has he been able to tell him this kind of stuff? Or are we using the Quick Talk measure of meeting, where you meet behind closed doors with only 4 walls to yourselves? Well, there it is. Get yourself a copy and find out what Wafula Ogutu will tell the president if they met.
Do they actually meet? Well, at functions, but you see that's at a distance. You know, budget speech, State of the Nation address, parliament.
Joel, there is nothing I've been unable to tell you, and yet the only time we meet is here on this set.
No, but you see here, we sit one-on-one before the show, we are bantering and the like, but here, I'm sure they don't even want to be seen together
Well,
in public.
the opposition is always heckling at the president, so you can tell him that, hey. Well, in Seeds of Gold in the Daily Monitor this morning, we are told that the Ramadan indeed has boosted the demand for fruits, and yes, talking about which, of course, and that's our concluding note. As you will realize, as you will be informed, the Sheik that was gunned down last evening had only stopped to get himself some fruits for the holy month of Ramadan.
Very disturbing news. I hope. You see the challenge now, police keeps coming up and they say, all right, we are going to robustly find out, do the investigations,
Joel,
and so on. But these reports never come
Joel, the easiest thing to blame is the police, but clearly it was not the policeman who asked the guy he was.
That's not the point I'm saying. My point really is that for years on end, we never see the results of these investigations and so on. Have you ever seen the one of the Budo Infano? And the ones of these markets that keep happening? So, you know, when this keeps happening again and again, and then police says we are going to investigate, we are going to expeditiously do this,
maybe
but
put it this
no
way.
report ever comes out, you're thinking, what's the problem?
It's not that I've been out there looking for the Budo Infano report. If I were possible, it is there somewhere. Think about
They've never come out
we
clearly on it.
Ugandans is that we lose interest. This story, we jump on it, cover it as the members of the Fourth Estate, go through the mud and water and all that, and after, we got the next big thing. Nobody even takes time to go back and reflect. We only go to do anniversary reflections. So I think many times we are a reflection of what we are. Well, maybe the international press does a better job than we do, and perhaps that's why some people prefer to talk to them first while leaving us to internalize their documents. But, Japan. Tell us, what's trending on the international scene? Another interview from the former Prime Minister or something else happening elsewhere? Share with us.
Thank you very much, Simon. I must say Greece is trending everywhere. They defaulted on their 1.7 billion IMF payment. It was really not a surprise. You know, everyone had been watching Greece and seeing what had been happening. What does this actually mean for the 188-strong country organization that it is? It is the first country to actually default on such a payment. Will Greece exit the euro? Because those are some of the conditions some of the things being looked at during this. The banks are still closed, and it's interesting because I still see people going to Greece to party and all that. So I think there are two very, very different worlds in Greece. Still on here, the Greece won't have access to IMF resources until payment is made. And there's also another story here about hostility growing. Some Chinese are say so long to Hong Kong. These two countries have always had some kind of hostilities because of their history. And these Hong Kongers here to Chinese shoppers are telling them that they don't want them in the country anymore. And in the FIFA Women's World Cup that is taking place in Canada, the women are through. To advance to the US downs Germany to advance to the final. It was a very tough game here, and we'll definitely be talking more about that later on. On the BBC page, Nigeria did carry out a poll, and 87% are against gays and homosexuality. The story is being reported there. And Liberia quarantine after another death of a 17-year-old boy who died of Ebola. This is the first reported case of Ebola in Liberia since it was declared free of the disease almost 2 months ago. Relatives of the Tunisian gunman have been horrified by the beach massacre. Pictures actually showed him high on cocaine a few days or hours before he actually went to the beach and just shot indiscriminately. And here we are seeing on the Sky News page, forecasters say it could be the warmest day for 9 years, and the beach towel weather will continue straight into the weekend. Some great news for people who do love the sun where they are. And again here on Al Jazeera, Greece misses payment, and this is people are wondering, how will this play out? You know, this is something that has never happened before. And we move on here to US-Cuba deal on the Reuters page. The United States and Cuba have reached an agreement to reopen embassies and restore diplomatic ties that were severed more than 5 decades ago. The historic deal will be unveiled later today by President Obama. And we will end with a story here about this snapped gunman being high on cocaine just before he took the lives of the tourists in Tunisia. Morning at NTV will continue right after this break.
Watching Morning at NTV.
The supernatural realm of God is touching base with the earthly dimension through the office of the prophet. World events are being prophesied long before they come to pass, and they do come to pass just as precisely as they were seen.
One of them was the UPC. When a conflict arose, it became so much for the person who currently leads that party.
Now I see South Africa, and I see social unrest.
And the lives of individuals are being impacted, and their destinies are defined by the prophetic voice in our midst. It's time for all the walls of unbelief to crumble in the wake of such a clear manifestation of the supernatural realm.
Anyone. Nobody, you get it?
It's okay. We don't have to talk if you don't want to.
Why are you looking at me like that? What is it?
You know what your problem is, Ignacia? You always seem to be in the wrong place. Goodbye, Ignacia.
Suraj, please help me out. Babu was accusing you of some necklace that has gone missing from the house.
Sandhya, what you intend to do and what you don't, I don't have the patience and the strength to understand that anymore.
All these allegations were leveled against me. Then, how can I feel happy today? My reputation was maligned by everyone.
I firmly believe that she's a liar. She's not innocent.
Leave her hand right now!
I will not.
I will make their life miserable if anyone tries to touch or see my sister. Got it?
I will not listen to you. No way.
Oh no! What should I do now?
Made for for each other every Monday to Friday, 6:30 p.m.
You're watching Morning at NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and Brian Mulondo.
The Big Story brought to you by Taj Techno Bread, baked with perfection.
Well, thank you very much for joining us this first day of July. This is Morning at NTV. We woke up to the sad news that another sheikh had been gunned down. Sheikh Ibrahim Kiria, the spokesperson of the Chibuli mosque sect, was gunned down in Boyogedere at around 11 p.m. last night. And obviously this is something that the police are onto. We had a statement earlier from the police spokesperson. And Sheikh Ibrahim Kiria had actually mentioned towards the end of last year that he knew he was on a list of the hitmen who have been going after sheikhs. It's quite unfortunate. The police had given him security, but I guess with time he thought probably the security, it would be okay. He had just dropped off his bodyguard a few minutes before he was gunned down. So these gunmen are serious. They clearly have done their homework and they know what they're after. We were talking to Sudhir Riarhanga about this story earlier, where he did mention that it is heavily suspected that these gunmen have very close links and ties to the ADF, who have links as well to rebel groups in the DRC. And there are about 18 suspects who have been in court, brought to court already. This was because of the killings of sheikhs in Mbali. Now, some of your messages here. We have Charles Bukua, who is saying good insight there by Sudhir into the murder of Sheikh Kiria last night. This is our Twitter page. If you haven't yet followed us, please do so. Our handle is @morning@NTV. And on our Facebook page, we have some messages here. Mwanga saying these disagreements are among the different factions in the Islamic community are the source of these tragedies. We have Arini Tue saying, for those who say Ugandan security is strong, it's because they have never been attacked, and this has a strong message it sends out to government. Cohen here says, too bad. With respect to the intelligence units, trafficking of these weapons, guns, or should be handled with vigilance, and also monitoring the licensed ones to at least minimize this, because it is becoming too much. This is in regard to the killing of Sheikh Ibrahim Hassan Kiria, the spokesperson of the Chibuli faction, who was shot dead near Weogedere by unknown assailants riding on a border. And this is something we have been seeing in the last couple of months, that people have been shot, including the prosecutor, Joan Kagezi. Now, we would like to hear from you, so do send those messages in to our Twitter handle, morning@NTV. Remember to tag us there. You can also tag us along individually. My handle is @mebkeb. You can tag Simon Kasiate @Kasiate, Joel Senyonyi @Joel Senyonyi, and Brian Mulondo @Brian Mulondo. We would like to hear from you as we continue this discussion on our Facebook and Twitter platforms. We'll now play you a clip of some footage of what have transpired last night.
Of Sheikh Kiria Hassan has been one of the prominent sheikhs in the Muslim faith, and we want to first of all send our utmost condolences to his closest family and to the Muslim fraternity and to the public at large. It is true that he has been shot dead. We've at Weogedere, where we are, and the body has been transferred to Mulago. However, arrangements are there to have it shifted to Chibuli for post-mortem. Now, we had we had given him close body protection, all-round security protection, which included the close body protection of some of our best officers under the VIP, the Very Important Persons Protection Unit, who have been all along moving not only with him but with all the other sheikhs who were in that vulnerable situation and whom we had given protection. This morning, they left early in the morning, had some meetings at Ryder Hotel, and then he had a burial at Nachifuma of a nephew at 11 a.m. today. They left at around 3:30 to come back to Kampala, and they proceeded after Gayaza. They went and met one of there's a lady with whom they had a meeting at Nankulabye, and that was at around between 4 going to 5, and after that meeting he went and broke the fast at one of the mosques behind Ring Road. That was around 7. So it is at around 9:30 that he offered to drop the bodyguard who stays at our barracks in Chireka. So after dropping him, he was now driving to his home, but it is at Chireka, at Weyogerere where we are, that he was attacked and shot dead, which is a very, very unfortunate incident. So this really shows that for all this period, he has been surveilled, and the thugs who carried out this attack took advantage of that security lapse within those 30 minutes after they could have monitored that he was all by himself. So he was in a very vulnerable situation on his own. This shows you that the threats against the sheikhs are actually still there. Their enemies are still outside there. And we are not coming up with a motivation yet at this stage, but all along we had come issuing alerts on acts of terror, local and foreign, and calling upon vigilance of various persons, the military and civilians.
And that is the police spokesperson, Fred Enanga, speaking yesterday about giving details of the killing of Sheikh Ibrahim Hassan Kiria, the killing which occurred at about 11 p.m. last night as he stopped in a Kampala suburb to buy fruits. That was a story we did play earlier, and we hosted Sudhir Biaruhanga here of NTV to give us more insight onto the killing of these sheikhs. We have seen Sheikh Abdul Karim Sentamu. He was killed in 2012. Haj Abu Bekar Chiwewa was also killed in 2012. In 2014, December, Sheikh Mustafa Bahiga was killed, and as well as Abdul Kadir Muwaya. Sheikh Abdul Kadir Muwaya killed in December of 2014. In May 2015, we saw Sheikh Abdul Rashid Wafula, and earlier we also played footage of Sheikh Ibrahim Hassan Kiria saying he knew he was on the list being hunted, and he was obviously working with the police, collaborating with them, but unfortunately the killers killed him last night. We have some of your messages here on Facebook, some of our pictures. We have Frank here saying, those people believe in killing, and I think they are getting what they deserve. And I don't know exactly what that means. Mwanga Abdul here saying that he thinks these disagreements are because of the different factions in the different Islamic communities that we have, obviously Old Kampala, Chibuli, and Old Kampala and Chibuli factions that we're seeing. We have Sudhir Biaruhanga on the line, who is in Chibuli, I believe, this morning. Good morning, Sudhir, again.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Mebo.
Hi, I can hear you. What is happening in Chibuli?
Yeah, basically the security has been heightened as you go to Chivuli. That is where, you know, Sheik Ibrahim Kidia was one of the leaders here, the spokesperson of the sect of the Chivuli Mosque. And because we are seeing so many people are coming around, they woke up to great, you know, shock. They are very, very, you know, sad. It's a somber mood. People crying, the relatives, friends, and other, you know, people of the same faith who are around, who had come to see or glance at the body of who was once with them, who was once around as their son, you know, who died yesterday. The body, we are told that it's going to be treated, and the ablution and other rituals the Muslims, you know, follow. They're going to be performed the other side of Mlago, and then it will be brought at around 9 or 9:30. Then there will be a prayer that will be held outside the mosque, and then the burial will follow after.
Okay. Now, are there any leads that the police may have found, or do they have any leads?
So far, the police are hesitant, especially the ones we found around there. There is no any spokesperson or anybody authorized to speak. However, they are saying they are on top of the game to ensure that they bring, you know, the criminals or the assailants to book.
Okay, thank you very much, Sudhir. It is quite sad there. Now, the other, Sheik Ibrahim Kiria had mentioned other names on the hit list. Would you happen to have spoken to them or know probably what their thoughts are or where they are at the moment?
Sorry, I'm losing you.
I was saying Sheik Kiria had mentioned towards the end of last year that he was on the hit list, and he had mentioned other sheikhs who were on the same hit list. Have you been able to make contact with the other sheikhs, maybe to get their thoughts, to find out if they have beefed security, if they're still in the country?
Yeah, basically we are yet to trace and find out who these other sheikhs were on the list. And of course, the people who are coming here, they're really in a somber mood, very sad. You see it on their faces, they're crying, tears streaming down their faces. And, you know, apparently nobody is yet to talk about what, you know, whether they are under threat. And of course, whoever is under threat, I think after they have, you know, regained and looked at the body of one of their brother, the brotherhood, that's when maybe they will be able to talk to us. However, they are still hesitant and still holding back and not about to speak to anybody about maybe their fears, and then also that any threats that could be surrounding the Muslim fraternity.
Okay, thank you very much, Sudhir. We will have to end it there for now, but I guess we will be speaking to you a little bit later during the show.
Thank you.
Okay, that is Sudhir Ruhanga, who is live in Chivuli following the death of the spokesperson of the Chivuli Mosque, Sheik Ibrahim Hassan Kiria, who was gunned last night at about 11 p.m. in Weogerere, a Kampala suburb. The killers were on a boda, and they were about 2 shots that were fired, and he was unfortunately killed on the spot. It has followed a spate of killings here in Uganda, where Muslim clerics are being targeted, and obviously the police are doing the very best they can. And we will be reading some of your messages and be bringing you more of this story. Right now we will be playing you something from the late Sheik Ibrahim Kiria that Francis Jingo did file for us some time back.
The story about the murder of Muslim clerics in the country reads like a destructive poker game. With a poison leadership atmosphere, the 3 factions at Kibuli Mosque, Odi Kampala, and William Street are accusing each other for the death of these Islamic scholars. Reports have emerged that there could be a list of those who have been listed for elimination. Sheikh Ibrahim Hassan Kiria of the Kibuli Muslim faction believes is amongst those being pursued by these death squads.
My name is among those names. Haji Najib Sonko is one of those. Haji Ahmad Al-Bega is one of those. The Deputy Supreme Mufti Sheikh Mahmoud Chibate is one of those. The Amirul Ummah Dr. Haruna Jemba is one of them.
The Mufuti, Sheik rather than Mubaje, this afternoon told NTV that its unfortunate Muslims are turning guns against each other.
Condemn in the strongest terms possible the killings, assassinations that are taking place.
Acting on the directive of his boss, the commandant of very important person protection unit, VIPPPU, Elias Kasirabo, met Muslim leaders at Kibuli Mosque.
They promised to give us protection, personal protection. So that's what we are working out with them.
Jingo Francis, NTV.
To some of your messages now on Twitter, we have Patrick saying this is a sad day for #Uganda, the Muslim community, and this happening in the Ramadan month, and to all of us. Jennifer Ocho says truly a sad day in Uganda. As you rant about a national water social bill, she talks about Ofondo Pondo and Frank Tumwebaze. This is happening. A shame on you. And some messages on Facebook. We have Angela saying, what's wrong with Muslims these days? Chitalonyo, rest in peace. Chigundu Abraham saying, I am just so scared these days, in fact, despite the fact that I am not among the vulnerables. And we have here Spender saying, this means security is actually poor. Well, you're watching. We shall be taking a short break right about now.
Is baked under the principles of good hygienic practices. Agents and distributors, call the numbers on your screen for more information. Taj Techno Bread, baked with perfection.
You're watching Morning at NTV.
That's why she uses new geisha with extracts from nature that make it mild enough to use for the whole family. New geisha, mild care for your family skin.
It's time to take action to end child marriage in Uganda. Nearly 50% of 20 to 49-year-old women in Uganda today were married by the age of 18. That's 3 million women in Uganda today. That's many dreams crushed. Every night from June 29th to July 8th, 2015, watch a series of features that will explore the issue of child marriage and its consequences in Uganda. And we want to know your story. How are you or somebody you know contributing to end child marriage in Uganda? Tell us on at NTV, at UNICEF, at YouReport, and potentially be featured on NTV. It's time to take action to end child marriage in Uganda. #EndChildMarriageUG.
You're watching Morning at NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and Brian Mulondo.
Ugandans are scampering to digitalize themselves, so to speak, and that means the likes of Aldrin Suvuga smiling all the way to the bank. From StarTimes. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you people doing?
We're okay. We're okay.
I would be okay also if I were in your shoes, you know. What are the sales like? I'm sure you should be running out of decoders now that everybody's trying to make sure that we need to get on board because government was serious this time round.
No, we're not running out. We are well prepared, but I can tell you the sales are high, they are good. But I think it's just about helping people to keep on TV, except now it is digital TV. But we are relishing the chance now to help people have a smooth transition to digital television.
Of course, at the end of the day, when the price was with the consumers out there are excited. Why? Because you're going to keep lowering, and we are seeing that happening. As the others lower, you're lowering too. You want to keep on top of your game. You've lessened the price from 49,000, is it?
500.
49,500. To what now?
As I speak now, since Monday, StarTimes' initial entry package is 33,500. Previously, we've had our offer of digital migration, 49,500. What's happened now is a lot of people have come out to say, even then, we still can't afford. You've seen images of some people, of course, some are just comedians, but some who are genuine, and they say their TVs are now useless. They can't have TV, so why keep the boxes? But for us, I think it's about maintaining our consistency with the message we've been giving that we will do everything we can to help as many Ugandans as possible to migrate seamlessly. Now, when you reduce from 49,500 to 33,500, you are telling Ugandans that you will get a decoder and you'll have 3 months of the Nova Bouquet, which has 35 channels. And among those, 24 local channels. But what we are doing is we realize that at every level in this market, you will capture a certain group that may not have afforded the previous
So that means many a person out there probably waiting for 1-2 more months because they feel it will come down to what, 10,000 or thereabout?
I can tell you it is possible. It is possible, but it must also be understood that digital migration is not going to be free. No one is going to give out free decoders. No one is going to give out free TV sets. It's just trying as much as we can to help as many people, and I will insist, as many people at least be part of the process.
This 33,500 you talk about, is that the one that requires monthly subscription?
No.
How much is
that
it
is
then
the
for the set-top box?
That is the package that includes a decoder. Our decoder is still at 9,500. So that package of 33,500 includes a decoder, terrestrial digital decoder, the one that you would do well if you have an outside antenna in case you have issues. And then
does it include the aerial? Sometimes they're sold differently.
The aerial is an accessory which comes as an add-on if you need one. You don't always need one. If anyone needs one, the StarTimes antennas are available at 30,000 now, but that you would have to know after taking this decoder. And
is that the outdoor antenna?
It is the outdoor. All right. The outdoor. I know some even have internal antennas, and sometimes they work. Even on Entebbe Road, where previously it was a difficult place, right now indoor antennas as good as an outside antenna. Mukono area, which one would think is probably quite a distance from Kampala, many of our customers there don't even need an outside antenna. So it all depends on where you stay and how difficult your transmission issues are. Now, that package, for one, would help someone just get that decoder, go home, plug and play, have your 3-month subscription for Nova Bouquet. Still, the other situation remains. You will always have those people who have already stayed in difficult areas, who are distances away from Kampala and 60 kilometers, where the radius is right now, where the digital terrestrial transmission is. And those ones always require a satellite dish. So our price for the satellite dish at StarTimes remains. It is 114,000. And it also includes 3 months of the Nova Bouquet. Remember, the Nova Bouquet is 8,000 shillings per month. Now, what we realize now, and now we are happy that StarTimes we started this whole thing, the issue of affordability is really, really real, and it's key. If someone is saying, I've left TV, just because you're telling him
that's an information
to buy
blackout.
a decoder.
You don't want that to happen.
Exactly. Then it's going to matter how much at least he pays every month if he's going to be on pay TV. And we are saying we are glad when we came up with this package of 8,000, which translates to about 260 shillings per day. When we came out with that package, we never realized just how important it might be. I can tell you, as a reality right now, we've got a lot of customers who were previously already on digital, meaning using a decoder of sorts. And what they've done is to just divert, keep, for instance, their satellite dishes and buy a StarTimes decoder because of the subscription per month. Others have decided, let me just buy a second one. I just can't afford the monthly subscription, but I think I can afford the StarTimes monthly subscription. So that is also happening. You will have this scenario where people have more than 1 or 2 decoders, or 2 or 3 even service providers, depending on where they began. But every month that passes, the more they realize that I now have to budget for TV, they're going to make the decisions. And right now, that's why I'm saying that StarTimes we are happy that we were first to see that. And if you see the people who come to our outlets every day, it's about the monthly subscription. So it doesn't matter how much you reduce your hardware cost. It really doesn't matter. You won't excite them as much as that monthly subscription. But at the end of the day, the hardware cost is once. what is that amount of money I pay every month? And for us,
about
that's
the
why Nova
set-top
is a
box,
winner.
because yeah, you talk about that, you've lessened it for especially many Ugandan who are impecunious. Money is hard to come by, but the set-top box, it still remains out there. What's the price now?
Well, the start time set-top box is 9,500. I don't see anyone coming anywhere close. 9,500. That's what it is. That's what it will be. And I think everyone will really should have one.
Somebody else the other day was telling us the lowest on the market is 125,000. So 9,500. That's the cost of what?
I believe they're talking about the free-to-air decoder.
Yeah, that's the one I talk about.
The pay TV decoder, which is the Start Times pay TV, is 9,500. The free-to-air decoder.
You don't sell those, do you?
We do sell them. Sell them, and at Start Times you sell them at 140,000. That's the free-to-air decoder, and they're available in all our outlets. And but yeah, the price is ranging from 130, 125, all the way to 200, 220,000. So the free-to-air decoders, in terms of that one-time cost, still really out of reach for many Ugandans. And I know a lot of efforts have been made to try and push for lower pricing, but that comes with volumes of decoders available in the market, because that will bring the prices down. I know for a fact that UCC, working with Signet, they think opening up the space and saying, if you're a business guy and you think you have capital, if you are pay TV like ourselves and you think you can bring in this equipment, let's see what decoder you want to bring, let's type approve it, and if it's okay and it's cheap and affordable and people are going to buy it, we'll let you sell it, because it's become key. And I think it's going to happen in the next couple of months. You'll see those prices coming down for free-to-air decoders, just because the supply right now is small.
All right, my director tells me I need to be out of here. I'm sure you wanted to give away 1 or 2 decoders, but hopefully we can do that next week.
I think we can do it next week. The key thing for the people now to know is that we have new prices for our entry package, and that is 33,500 for Start Times. If you have that amount of money, even now, you can have our decoder and 3 months of Nova, which I think is good news, because everybody has been saying affordability, affordability, affordability. And we think we are going to bring in a lot of people who previously may not have afforded the 49,500.
All right, so as you wait to win the one next week, you go and buy a free one. Not a free one. A cheap one at 9,500 shillings. The next week when you get a free one, hey, courtesy of this show, give it to your mother, to your ex-girlfriend, I don't know, to whoever. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, Everyday Life.
People are still... I saw some people on the news yesterday carrying their TVs on to Parliament, saying they were of no use to them. Well, this morning we woke up to some very sad and disturbing news that another sheikh had been gunned down. Sheikh Hassan Ibrahim Kiria, the spokesperson of the Chibuli faction, was gunned down in Weogedede last night at around 11 p.m. He was shot by a gunman who fled on a boda, who arrived on a boda, shot him as he stopped to buy some fruits. He had just dropped off his bodyguard in the neighborhood. The bodyguard had been assigned to him by the police, and because he had said he was on a hit list with other sheikhs, and he knew that I guess his time would be coming quite soon. But despite that, and despite the police protection, he was gunned down yesterday. In 2012, 2 sheikhs were killed, Haj Abubakar Chiwewa and Sheikh Abdul Karim Sentamu. In December 2014, 2 other sheikhs, Sheikh Mustafa Bahiga was shot dead, as well as Sheikh Abdul Kadir Muaya, and that happened in December 2014. Sheikh Abdul Rashid Wafula was killed in May 2015. Obviously, the million-dollar question is, who is killing these sheikhs? Who stands to gain from the death of these sheikhs? Religion is obviously a very fundamental aspect to this, and most of these killers have been linked actually to the ADF and splinter groups possibly found in the DRC. Some suspects have been arraigned in court, about 18, especially for the December deaths, and the case is still ongoing. To some of your messages here, we have Prince Brighton saying, for those who say Uganda's security is strong, it's because they have never been attacked, and this sends a strong message to the government. We have Cohen saying this is very bad. With respect to intelligence units, these weapons should be handled with vigilance, and the licensed ones should be monitored because it's it's becoming too much. We have Joseph saying, it's a pity. My condolences to the family and friends of the bereaved. Our security has to be heightened and these wrangles have to be sorted out before more blood is shed. And obviously our thoughts are with Sheik Ibrahim Hassan Kiria's family. We now cross over to Brian, who has the one and only, the man from Ombokolo, I guess a village I had never heard of, and but someone has indeed made that village very famous. Good morning, Brian.
Everyday Life
is brought to you by
and Star Times.
Well, someone said that if laughter is medicine to the soul, then Salvador is the doctor. Before we get into this excruciating, well, many people here are preparing their reads, but let's first take a look at Salvador in action when he visited Churchill in Kenya.
I like talking about where I come from. You see, I've done so many shows with so many African comedians. I've been blessed and we have traveled, and every time we go, every comedian who comes on stage and say, "Hi, my name is Apororo. I'm from Africa." I'm like, eh? So one time we were doing this show and this guy came and said, "Hi, my name is Apororo. I'm from Africa." I told him, "Dude, we are in Rwanda." That's why for me, I'm proud of where I come from, Uganda, a village called Ombokolo. Unlike you women, you Kenyan women, you are very good. You are good to compliment. When somebody tells you you're beautiful, you're like, oh, OMGLOLXOXO. In Ombokolo, you tell a girl you are beautiful, she'll ask you, who told you? They're the kind of girls you say, oh my God, I love your hair. She says, which one? Be romantic with a woman from Ombokolo. You tell her, you try to be like Shakespeare. You say, baby, tell me something sweet in my ear. She'd be like, you want what? Something sweet. Okay, glucose. They are not romantic. One time I sent her an SMS. I told her, baby, if you're singing, send me the song. If you're in the kitchen, send me the aroma. If you're crying, send me that tear. She replied, I'm in the toilet. What should I say? Women in Ombokolo, very terrible. They are not good to compliments, I'm telling you. The problem started from our education system. You see, in school, English was a problem. English was like question tags. Like when I say I am coming to you, what's the question tag? Hey, it's a wrong number. It's a wrong number. I'm very sorry, I didn't know. But Churchill will translate for you. Like question tags. Like we had one student particularly, was called Labeja. He was terrible with question tags. One time he came to class and he was smart. The teacher said, wow, Labeja, you are smart. He said, aye, aye. Okay, I want you to add a question tag to the following statement. Okello is going to get mangoes. He said, okay. I add what? You add a question tag to the statement, Okello is going to get mangoes. He said,
Salvador, we'll continue the rest of this. I like where it ends. I absolutely love it. Salvador Idringi. Yes, Patrick, the man from Ombokolo,
yes.
Live in flesh.
True.
Good morning.
Pleasure being here.
Absolutely. Sorry that I woke you up this morning.
No, it's okay. It's also a challenge. It reminds me of the days when I was still employed. So.
Oh, you'll get up. Yeah. Salvador, yes. I saw you laughing at you. Do you laugh at your own jokes?
Yes, actually, that's when I know it's going to be nice. Like when I make up something and then I laugh about it first, then I know definitely this one is going to work out. So what I do is to sit down and I find a way of delivering it. So that is how it is. So I'm a big fan of myself.
Awesome. One of the things that we've been asking ourselves, this village called Ombokolo.
Yes.
Does it actually exist?
It does. Actually, the people who know, especially guys from the West Nile, they know it exists. It's actually very remote. Now, my mom is Congolese. My mom comes from Congo. Now, Ombokolo is more in Congo than in Uganda. But what happens is, it's not actually this is now the honest truth. It's not the actual village, but it is a village before mine. But the name was so captivating. The name was so catchy. Yeah. So I decided, my mom comes from a village called Apayu. It's in Congo. So before it, there is Ombokolo. Oh. Yeah, but the beauty about it is the whole of West Nile now is Ombokolo.
You had to baptize it.
Yeah, definitely. I had to, and it's always good to tell people where you're from.
The first time we saw you was Stand Up Uganda.
Yes.
Was that your turning point? Is that the point where you said, you know what?
My turning point was when I was accepted into the auditions. After the auditions, I think that was the turning point because I almost gave up.
Right.
When I came for the first audition, the first ever, where there were thousands of people. Now, here I was, I reached there and there were clowns, guys dressed. I was like, look at me, I've just left office. I've just left my job as an engineer to come and be with these clowns. But I said, no, you know what, go on. So when I went to register now, those two girls who are registering me, I hope they are watching. Shame on you. Those two girls who are registering me, they were like, your name? I said, Patrick Idringi. Age? I told them, of course. Then they told me, profession. I said, engineer. Do you know they threw their pens and they clapped? I was like, hey, oh my God.
What is that engineer doing here?
What is an engineer doing here? Like, she was like telling others, give chance to other people. Right. I was so, because I would see on the profession, teacher, unemployed, teacher, unemployed. I don't know why.
Teachers.
So it was an amazing experience, but I kept on going, and before I know it, I was number 2. Yeah. Yeah, it's a proud moment in my life.
Many people would give up if they were number 2, but you decided to go on.
No, when I was number 2, I knew this is actually what I was supposed to do, because out of the thousands who auditioned, I ended up being number 2. Then even if I was number 10, that was still a promotion. That was something huge. That was a big statement. Right. So I decided, you know what, let's give it a try, and we're here now.
You have traveled countries. In one of your shows, I had you say, you know, when I was in the UK,
yes.
I think we didn't get it, then you said, yeah, the UK.
Yes.
I just wanted to say the UK. What has this brought for you?
First of all, the UK was not just an ordinary show. It was a big show. I performed at the Apollo.
Wow.
For those who don't understand what the Apollo is like,
it's like this dream stage for every actor.
The epitome of any comedian. That's like, what do you want to do before you die?
Dude.
Kind of theater. Unfortunately, we did not get coverage for it because there was no bad news about it. So it could not go into.
And also it's copyright, so probably Comedy Central has the...
It was an amazing experience.
Awesome.
Because the previous day, some of those great English comedians had just had a sellout show. And also here we are African comedians, we have just also had a sellout show. It was amazing. It was a good experience.
What other highlights have you had this?
Wow. The first was the Comedy Central performance in Mauritius.
Yeah.
We were 2 comedians. There was the first guy who went before me has won awards, but I got standing ovations on that show, and it was an uplifting experience. Comedy Central said a lot of things to me. They promised me, so maybe Man from Ombokolo was one of the things. I'm just waiting for the others.
Yeah, you were talking about them, how they had come to your show.
Once they back you up, you can never fail to, you just know you're on the right track.
Awesome.
Yeah. You just know you're on the right track.
Man from Ombokolo was absolutely amazing. I mean, I had heard the jokes before, but it felt so fresh.
Yes.
Why did you decide to do that show? It was scary.
Yes, it was. It's actually a challenge. That's my advice to all comedians out there. This is once in a lifetime. This is something in your life to do a one-man show, because it was very embarrassing for me to go and do these shows in the different countries, and all the comedians on the lineups have done 6, 7, others are bragging of 15. one-man shows.
Wow.
Going on stage, because they've been doing it year after year after
And you had
year.
never done
and
one.
the funny thing is, I was the one closing all those shows. I was the highlight of the show, the last person performing, and here I was, they didn't have a one-man show. So they kept on laughing at me. They were like, what, dude, you're not serious. How can you not have a one-man show? And I told them, man, it's not easy in Uganda. It's a little bit, because we have not yet accepted, yeah? But I said, you know what? I have to do this, because at the end of the show, in the Apollo, people started asking me, where can we get your DVDs? How can we get you? And I have no YouTube channel. I have no DVD. It was very embarrassing. So when I came back, I was very determined. That's why I didn't do anything else in that period from the time I left the UK to when I did Man from Ombokolo, because my focus was on that show.
What was going through your mind? Because I know Serena was packed to the rafters.
Yeah.
It was jam-packed. And you got on with your dudes from Ombokolo.
It was not easy. First of all, I avoided doing certain things. I stopped using boda.
When? Before the show?
Before the show. I avoided going to places where they can easily throw a bottle. I started going to expensive places. I spent a lot of money.
So you avoided laughters, Centenary Park.
By the way, this is the honest truth. I even told my wife to leave. Yes, for a couple of times. She left home. She went and stayed with the parents. This is how serious and how tense the thing was, because I did not want to have any other excuse. The day of the show when it arrived, I was like, stage, light, sound, perfect. Everything, perfect. Relationship with Serena, perfect. People who have come, full house. What is left? You. Katibofuna Senegal.
So you have to stay secluded in isolation.
There were so many things running in the moment I stepped on stage and I started talking, I was like, thank God. Because trust me, there's now nothing that is going to go wrong, because I had prepared. I've never prepared for any other show like I prepared for Man from Ombokolo. It was an amazing experience.
You got a standing ovation at the end of the show. And it's not just because you were the first comedian to do such a show, but it's because it was actually a good show.
I was actually in shock when people stood up. I think it was because of the influence of the Indians. Because the black people for us here in Uganda, standing ovation.
Yeah, we don't stand.
So, but I was humbled by the standing ovation. It was amazing.
One of the things that we always talk about, and this has been a conversation for a very long time, is content for comedians.
Yes.
and how you're bordering on being vulgar and also making people laugh.
Yes.
What do you answer to that when people ask you?
Unfortunately, it all comes down to the audience. People always like going and say, hey, you guys are vulgar, you guys talk too much, you guys say all these jokes. But the MC is the one who determines the flow of the show from the audience's reception. He will come with a clean joke, say it,
and no one laughs.
And people laugh, ha ha ha, that was funny. Then he comes with a semi-dirty one, say it, and people are like, hey! Then he comes with the other one, and everybody's standing up. So everybody backstage is like, hey, so this is what they want. They change their script.
Wow.
It's not because guys want to be vulgar, no. There's no joke that people call vulgar that hasn't gotten a standing ovation on any show. So what does that tell you?
Sex sells.
Exactly, it sells. Because people are afraid to speak about certain topics. So when a comedian speaks about it, it's hilarious to them. So, but you know, we like pretending a lot. We come back and we start saying, oh, they were vulgar, they said A, B, C, D. But the next week you are there listening to the same jokes. Boycott. So that it
don't go there.
Don't go there. So that it makes a statement. When he makes a vulgar joke, don't laugh. It will make a statement, but every time you keep on laughing, you're encouraging the person
to go on.
So it's a two-way thing. You give me, I give you. It's just like that.
I have seen you with basket mouth.
Yes.
I've seen you, one of the pictures that I saw was Churchill.
Yes.
What are some of the people that you have met during, some of those guys? But also, are you training people?
Yes, actually, I do not train. I won't say I'm an expert in training, but I only tell you what is supposed to be done. That is all. I won't lie to you that I'm going to put up a workshop, because I'm not qualified to train. I only do this thing the way I do it because it's a talent given to me. I don't think I can tell you, oh, do this, because people have different styles of doing comedy. So, but if you ask me, how can I do A, B, C, D? I will tell you what I did. I will not tell you how it's supposed to be done, because I also every day I'm learning. Yeah, so I won't lie that I'm going to put up a workshop and I'm going to teach young comedians, no, but I will tell you what I did.
If someone comes to you and says, Salvador, I need to
I need
deliver this.
ABCD.
How do you do
How
that?
do I do this joke? Then I will tell you, if it was me, I would do it this way. But because you don't have the physique and the energy on stage, you need to do it this way.
This way.
Yeah.
Finally, I need to ask you about family, and you know, at Man of Ombokolo, you know, you talked
Yes.
about your wife, and
Yes.
she came on, and you
Yeah.
know, first, do you make jokes about her?
Yeah, she's actually not a big fan of me when it comes to me telling her, I'm sorry, baby, but she's not a big fan, but the jokes are hilarious. There are things she does. When we are at home and then she does something and I laugh hysterically, she's like, oh no, you're going to do a joke out of it. But the beauty about it is like people believe it's real. People, they'll look at you and say, this is believable.
Right.
Because you are talking about something you experienced. It's not far-fetched. It's not thought of. It is something, yes, we exaggerate a little bit, but most of it is the truth. Yeah, so she knows it's how she gets fuel for her car, she gets her money for her hair, so she cannot complain a lot. She's going to kill me.
She will kill me. If she's watching the show,
yeah,
she's obviously watching. Okay, I know my director is going to kill me for that, but let's have one phone call, just one phone call for Salvador Idringi, a man from Ombokolo here in the studios with us, and he has done it. A one-man show, no one has done that here in Uganda, and it definitely set the trend. Salvador, the future. Where is Salvador in the next 5 years?
Salvador, I will be up there with the others, because trust me, the way we are working hard as the comedian fraternity is amazing. I love the fact that guys have now started being professional, because that's where we need to go. Cleric is about to do a one-man show in August,
awesome.
so that shows you that people just needed an inspiration.
Somebody to
jumpstart. And I'm very, very glad that they have done it. I am just asking the others to follow suit, because this is how comedians in Uganda are super, super funny, because I've traveled, I've seen. We are hilarious, but we are just not organized.
Wow.
We need to be organized and professional. They cannot hire Salvador at 3 million and they hire you at 200,000, yet we are funny almost at the same level. It's very annoying.
Trevor Noah.
Yes.
Is such a big inspiration.
Yes.
You know, is that why you're looking up to?
Yeah,
I mean,
actually.
He's going to do an American show now.
I cannot believe the things he has achieved. I've met him once, and when I met him, he wasn't that much. He was a big hit, but he wasn't that much. And for him to achieve what he's achieving now is just amazing. It's inspirational.
He's done lots of one-man shows.
Yeah, too many.
Too many.
He was the first comedian in South Africa to do a one-man show.
Right.
Yeah, so he's done too much.
How do you prepare your content? Well,
it's not easy. There's a lot of meditation that goes on, and you have to be around people a lot and read a lot of news. I don't like doing political jokes because I'm not a big fan of politics.
Right.
Yeah, but you have to read a lot. Newspapers, you have to be amongst people, you have to know the latest trends, you have to be on social media. Yeah.
Salvador, a pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine. First of all, I forgot to say this. Congratulations to Eddie Kenzo.
Yeah.
You have done us super proud. Let's vote for Chameleon and Bebe Cool, please. We need all those awards.
I've heard you sing before.
Yeah.
Can we sign out when you're singing?
Usually it is always under the influence. I will not lie.
Okay, we're going to post this clip on YouTube for you in a couple of minutes. Please go there and watch Salvador. There's lots of stuff on social media. We don't have time to go through that, but our Facebook page is Morning at NTV. You can also tweet us at Morning at NTV. At P. Idringi is his Twitter handle. And yeah, drop a question, drop some, shouts out. I'm sure one of those shows he will say, my guy from Cleric, what about? Thank you for coming.
Pleasure's all mine, man.
All right. Probably, since now it's coming, I don't know, I respect this man a lot, but my director is putting me in a lot of trouble. Keep hope alive.
In this financial jungle, you need an ally. Welcome to the new ICEA Group, your one-stop shop for all your insurance, pensions, and investment solutions.
Start time. Owakabiwo mu digital TV. For more information, call 117-117-700. Start time. Affordable digital television.
You're watching Morning at NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and Brian Molondo.
Another day begins in this financial jungle. It's man eat man. Listen, the sound of bustling business, the sound of a new member in the family. It's a real jungle out here. To make it in this financial jungle, you need an ally who's bigger, better, and stronger, whose power, presence, and influence is felt across the region. Welcome to the new ICEA Group, your one-stop shop for all your insurance, pensions, and investment solutions.
Campus Brief is brought to you by Victoria University. Did you know Victoria University is currently registering students for August-September 2015 intake? We offer degrees and diplomas in certificate courses in the following faculties: Health Sciences, Business and Management, Science and Technology, Humanities and Social Sciences, and Department of Petroleum and Energy Studies. All our students receive free laptops and internet service for our registered students.
Registration is now open. Enroll now. For more information, please contact us at the information below. Victoria University. Come prepared to learn. Leave prepared to succeed.
You don't have to look any further. Get online and you'll get any property.
It's all about joinery. How best do you give a tree a very good second life?
Because there's already development happening around.
Say, for example, carpets, thick, luxurious carpet, and you say, I've got to have a carpet wall-to-wall in my house, but we're a hot country.
Welcome to the Property Show, where we make real estate sense.
On the next episode...
Suraj, pardon me, I don't intend to mock you. Sandhya is making it sound like a bed of roses. But the rosy picture she has drawn is not at all true. Amongst the top cooks of the world, only 100 are chosen. Can you be that winner?
Listen, Vikram. Are you awake? I'm not able to sleep. You know, I am feeling as if there are some ghosts around me in our room and they are dancing in front of me.
Watching More NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and Brian Molondo.
Well, you're still watching Morning at NTV this very first day of July. Unfortunately, we woke up to some disturbing news that another Sheik was killed in Weogedede at around 11 last night. Sheik Kiria, Ibrahim Kiria, was gunned down. Hassan Kiria, he was the spokesperson of the Chibuli faction, and this follows the death of Sheikhs Abdul Karim Sentamu, Abu Bakr Chiwewa in 2012, as well as Sheikh Mustafa Bahiga in December 2014. Also in December 2014, Abdul Kadir Moya was gunned down. We also have Sheikh Abdul Rashid Wafula, who was killed in May this year. The million-dollar question is, who is killing these sheikhs? Who stands to gain from the death of these sheikhs? Most of the evidence gathered shows that ADF has strong ties to the murderers. Similar, you know, they're all similar people on borders, just turn up, they do the job very quickly and are off before even people can literally blink. Quite sad, and we'll be talking to Sudhir Ruhanga, who is in Chibuli later on, I guess, on Mwasuze Mutia, but he did update us on what the police are doing. Very sad times, especially during Ramadan. Now we shall continue talking about sport. Aisha is here. I don't know if you actually knew the Sheikh. He did say he was on a particular list. Very scary, I must admit. And then we did play that clip earlier. But did you know him?
Yes, unfortunately, yes. I had a chance to see him yesterday.
Oh no!
Because we were attending the same funeral
service,
rites.
yeah.
Yes, because we lost a cousin. He's actually a brother to my father. So yeah, I personally didn't know him.
Oh,
So,
our thoughts are with your family.
It is really sad because we had a chance to see him yesterday. I think he conducted one of the prayers yesterday, and it was really sad to learn after a few minutes because he had just left the place to learn that he had been gunned down. So it's really sad.
Okay. Bran, good to have you.
Very, very, very sad day. Of course, NTV will be on top of this. Make sure you watch our subsequent news bulletins to get the latest. Let's talk sport now. Namtima was relaunched yesterday, 4 billion shillings over 4 years. Wow.
You've got to commend Nile Special and the partnership they've managed to sustain with the Uganda Cranes. I think they've always been there for them throughout almost everything, and they're right back on board. That partnership entails going around the country and spreading the Cranes brand to the different regions. They did it last year. I think it was quite successful, where they got national team players, Cranes players specifically, to go and play in Gulu, in Bale, all across the country. And I think it brings the Cranes closer to home for the different regions that they do go to. And I think as Nile Special, they also get something out of it at the end of the day. So kudos to them for supporting Ugandan football throughout almost everything. And Cranes as a brand, I think it's something that's really up there. Even when they don't do well, even with all these failed campaigns, they have managed to maintain the Cranes brand, and Ugandan still wants to be associated with the Uganda Cranes. So that's something they want to build up on.
Sports Club Villa celebrating 40 years. Is this a PR stunt?
It is a bit of both. It's a bit of both. I think in a situation where you've got clubs like Vipers celebrating winning the championship, and they take it down to Lake Victoria Serena and do all the pomp and everything. For Villa, they've managed to build up of that. And I think they have the hugest fan base. You can see that throughout all their games during the regular season. And even when they went to the Uganda Cups and all. And they are a club that has lots of history, as you can imagine. They've won the Uganda Premier League 16 times. They've won that Uganda Cup 9 times. They've won the Sekafa Club Championship. Their latest 3 times. They won the last one in 2005. But it's a club that has a lot of history across the board. If you're talking Ugandan clubs that have been there, done that, you're talking Express, KCC, and all this side. So and KCC as well. So I think at the end of the day, PR, celebrating, they deserve it. Yeah.
It's like a rebranding across all teams. Now, KCCA also, I saw, Jennifer Musasi with Simbua and Montevi, and now URA is also doing that. Yeah. There's a new coach, there's contract extensions, some players are being asked to leave. Lots of stuff happening.
Yeah, and URA has done that. I think it's a bit of trying to prepare for the next season and how that would look like. Because if all your counterparts are doing that, signing coaches, getting in new players, I think as clubs, you want to be as competitive as possible. I think URA specifically, we are never into it last season. And I think next season they want to be a little bit closer to the sides like KCC, to sides like Villa, to even Vipers as well, who I think have also done lots of signings now and are really cementing their place in Ugandan football. So they've gotten Moses Bassen as the head coach. Kefa Kisala will be his assistant. They've been given contract extensions to some people that you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they don't blow it, who will blow it for them?
Just like the British.
And of course, there's been everything said about that. I am sure now a couple of Ugandans will know about the fact that the Women's World Cup is happening and we are into the final stages of it because there's another semi-final to determine who will meet the Americans between Japan and England. England themselves know how to blow their own trumpet. The Lionesses have got support from almost everyone. Beckham, Emma Watson, the royalty. So it's been trying to get everyone to support them to go into the final. But against Japan, it's going to be a really, really tough one. That game is on tonight. But the USA beating up on Germany 2-0 yesterday. Carly Lloyd, their captain getting a penalty and scoring it. Germany had a chance to go ahead, and possibly this was the turning point in the game when Celia Salsic missed that penalty that could have given them the lead and ultimately the advantage. They did not take it, and USA went on to win, so into another final for them, and possibly I think whoever comes the other side, I said yesterday that I think this is where the winner is going to come from, and I think this might just be the repeat of that 1999 success for them when they went on and won the World Cup on American soil. This time it will be in Montreal, Canada, but they're looking pretty good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, let's talk some transfer news. We have coaches and players.
Yeah, Leicester City sacking Pearson. Then, of course, Flores introduced as Watford coach. It's going to be tough for him. I mean, coming up with sides that come out from the Championship and into the Premier League. Premier League is no easy business, and a lot of coaches will tell you that. So it's going to be really tough for him. But that's for the coaches, and of course, nothing yet concrete on Ramos. It's still the fact that they did make that bid for him for Manchester United. Paul Pogba as well has been thrown into the mix for Real Madrid as well. So then of course all that Sterling business. I think Sterling is going to leave Liverpool. Where he's heading to is something else. I think he's leaving Liverpool, but where he's heading to is something else completely.
All right, more will be coming up at 1:30 p.m. Make sure you catch that on Omumuri with Ismail Umasi and Alan. And of course, we'll be following the story of the killing of the Sheik. Make sure you stay abreast with all the news on our website, www.ntv.co.ug, or you can stream the news live /live. Just go to the website, actually click watch live. If you do not have a decoder yet, you can download NTV Mobi and watch us wherever you are. Mwasuzumtia is coming up with Farida Nakaziwe. Make sure you catch that. Until tomorrow, we'll have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.
You're watching Morning at NTV with Simon Kasiate, Mabel Kebirunji, and Brian Mulondo.
You don't have to look any further. Get online and you'll get any property.
It's all about joinery. How best do you give a tree a very good second life?
Because there's already development happening around.
Say, for example, carpets, thick, luxurious carpet, and you say, I've got to have a carpet wall-to-wall in my house, but we're a hot country.
Welcome to the Property Show, where we make real estate sense.
It's time to take action to end child marriage in Uganda. Nearly 50% of 20 to 49-year-old women in Uganda today were married by the age of 18. That's 3 million women in Uganda today. That's many dreams crushed. Every night from June 29th to July 8th, 2015, watch a series of features that will explore the issue of child marriage and its consequences in Uganda. And we want to know your story. How are you or somebody you know contributing to end child marriage in Uganda? Tell us on at NTV, at UNICEF, at YouReport, and potentially be featured on NTV. It's time to take action to end child marriage in Uganda. Hashtag end child marriage UG.
You don't have to feel like a wasted space. Your original cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds after a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe a reason why all the doors are closed, so you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow, and when it's time, you know you just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the fire.
woman.
Do you like it? Does it mean I won't have to work in the nightclub anymore?
The prostitute is dead and the model is bored.
What is this table for? Mr. Stanio said that he's coming for dinner today. Just like that? He's making decisions without asking me if I'll be home or if I have guests? Well, Mr. Stanio said that he needs to talk to you. There's a problem in Turkey, but I'm not sure what that is. A problem? He should better stop asking me to solve his problems, because I have many problems to take care of.
Mom, I went to Turkey.
Is brought to you by
Ghetto. Be 100% sure.
Mbaniriza nnyo ku programu yaffe eyamwase mutyalo ku lunaku luno olugguddewo omwezi ogwa July, ekitegeeza nti tutandise ekitundu ekyokubiri eky'omwaka 2. Nze Farida Nakazwe abalamuzaako olwaleero tukeeredde mawulire ga nnaku naddala eriffe abayisiraamu olwa Sheik atiddwa naye kitalo nnyo kitalo ddala. Abapoliisi batandise dda ogwabwe nga bulijjo ogw'okunoonyereza. Tubatumidde nnyo yonna gye musinziira okulaba programu eno ne NTV okutwaliza wamu. Twagala mweyongere okulaba TV eno mugitwale mu maaso. Mwasiza mutya? Mu bye tukolako olwaleero okusabira omwoyo gwa Sheik Hassan Kiria kugenda kubeera ku kasozi Kibuli. Omulambo gukyali mu ddwaliro e Kibuli we twogerera. Sheik Kiria atiddwa mu kiro ekikeesezza olwaleero mu bitundu eby'obweyogerere abamuse babadde batambulira ku bodaboda. Ate omuntu omu atiddwa ennaku ero okuliraana Gayaza n'abalala 2 ne balumizibwa. Bano babadde balwanagana n'ababbi ababadde bagezaako okubabbako ssente. Ye Dr. Kiza Besigye olwaleero lwasunsulwa mu kuvuganya ku kifo ky'anaakwatira bendera ya FDC mu kulonda kwa 2016. So nga olwaleero akakiiko ka NRM akafuzi ka Central Executive Committee oba SEC kagenda kutuula mu makaago bwa President Entebbe okuteesa ku bigenda maaso kati mu kibiina. Tosubwa NTV at 1 akawungezi ne tonight. Nkutegeezezzaako ku kitalo ekyaguddewo mu kiro ekikeesezza olwaleero Sheik Hassan Kiria bwe yattiddwa mu bitundu eby'obweyogerere. Sheik Kiria yabadde ayogerera ekiwayi ky'abayisiraamu abatuula kasozi Kibuli. Twabaddewo amangu ddala ng'ettemu lino lyakabaawo katulabe ebyaddiridde na kiki poliisi kyegamba.
Essaawa zibadde ziwera nga ssaawa 4 n'eddakiika nga 15 ku 2 awo. Sheik Kiria asaze ekkubo aze n'apaakinga emmotoka ya double cabin eya red n'asala ekkubo ajabe ng'agula obutunda n'emicungwa. Ne mu kujja okugula emitunda n'ebicungwa abantu abatagetegerekese bulungi baze ne bamusemberera ne bamukuba amasasi. Bose nakuba essasi erisooka erikanza abantu n'ekimanyi limugende ddala ku mubiri ne bongera bamukuba amasasi amalala n'agwa wansi. Kati bwagudde wansi emmotoka ya trailer ebadde eva ekireka ng'edda emukono bwe yesitudde amatala okuba mu bantu abo ne bakyusa ne bakuba abantu abalala badde ebusala kkubo ne liyitamu lino olumu gwe likutte eriiso n'omulala gwe likutte ekibegabega naye nga ye afiiriddewo. Naye omu ku bantu abakoseddwa poliisi etutte abamu abafudde, omulala nsobodde okumuyamba kuba musoosezza ewaziwa ng'abantu babadde badduseewo bonna n'abasawo ne musaza ekkubo ne mufunira booda ne mutwala mu ggwaatiro gyali essaawa wakati gyali kufuna obujjanjabi.
Mbadde nva kukola nga bulijjo
so zibadde nga 2:45 badde megowa trail eyo ngizo okulya amasasi omukono ogwa left 2 wasiwe dakika ntono nnyo empulya amasasi amalala 2 ku mukono ogwa right kati akageti trail eyo kembadde mu maaso ng'ate yimiridde badde nnina okuyimirira nze neva ne ku kkubo kubanga badde wakavungano k'amaanyi okuva ku kkubo wayisewo dakiika ntono nnyo era ne tulaba omwami omu ng'akubiddwa amasasi ye n'afiira wansi w'ettaawo awo ambulensi nejja n'emutwala poliisi weeyingiriddewo nayo neekola omulimu gwayo.
We had given him close body protection, all-round security protection, which included the close body protection of some of our best officers under the VIP, the very important persons protection unit.
Keep lighting and see.
Yeah, Fred Enanga, omwogezi wa police ya Uganda. Sheik Hassan Kiria ye Sheik oba abamanyi mu ddiini y'Ekisiraamu ow'omukaaga okuttibwa mu ngeri y'emu bazze battibwa era nga kati baweze 6 mu bbanga lya myaka 3 gyokka. Sheik Abdul Karim Sentamu yattibwa mu 2012 ne kuddako Haj Abubeka Kiwewa 2012, Sheikh Mustafa Bahiga Desemba wa 2014, Sheikh Dr. Abdul Kadir Muwaya naye mu Desemba wa 2014, saako Sheikh Abdul Rashid Wafula eyattibwa omwezi oguwedde. Okutemula abakulembeze b'Abayisiraamu kwatandika bamu bavaayo ne beekubira enduulu nga naffe ffennyini twayogerako ne Dr. Hassan na Sheikh Hassan Kiria mu Disemba omwaka oguwedde n'atutegeeza nti yali yeekengedde era ng'alina okutya nti waliwo abamulondoola abayinza okuba nga bandimumiza omusu. Kino nno kyatuukiridde mu kiro ekikeeseza olwaleero. Katulabe emboozi eyo gye twalimu ne Sheikh Kiria.
Ku lukalala okwo kuliko Haji Najib Sonko, kuliko Deputy Supreme Mufti Sheikh Mahmoud Kibate, kuliko Haji Ahmad Alubega, kuliko n'abalala bangi. Bireetera omuntu okutya kuba teri atayagala bulamu. Naye ekisigala kitugumya kisigala kimu nti bagenda kutta naye bagenda kuttira ku ki? Bagenda kuttira ku ki? Wabanyazeeko byabwe, waba bwe baba nga bagenda kuttira ku kino kibagamba okututtirako ni Busiraamu then tusigala okutya okwate kuvaawo.
Oyo ye Sheikh Hassan Kiria mu Disemba omwaka ogwedde ng'ategeeza nga obulamu bwabwe bwali mu matiga era nga baali bamanyiko olukalala olwawandiikiddwa abantu abefuniridde kutta abakulembeze b'Obuyisiraamu. Ku ssimu tulina Dean Lubowa Sava, omusasi waffe ali mu ddwaliro Ekibuli kati omulambo gw'omugenzi Sheikh Hassan Kiria we gukuumirwa kati. Twategeezeddwa nti okusabira omwoyo gwe kugenda kubeera era ku kasozi Kibuli oluvannyuma aziikibwe Enkowe. Tujja kuba tubabuulira ebyo mawulire gaffe ag'essaawa 7. Dean? Okay, Sheikh Hassan Kiria yattiddwa mu kiro ekikeesezza olwaleero mu bitundu eby'obwegerere ebisinga abantu mubiwulidde bye boogedde abaabaddewo.
Essaawa zibadde ziwera nga ssaawa 4 n'eddakiika nga 15 ku 2 awo Sheikh Kiria asaze ekkubo aze n'apaakinga emmotoka ya double cabin eya red n'asala ekkubo ajja abe ng'agula obutunda n'emicungwa ne mu kujja okugula emitunda n'ebikyungwa abantu batagetegerekese bulungi baze ne bamusemberera ne bamukuba amasasi bose nakuba essasi erisooka erikanza abantu naye kyemmanyi limugende ddala ku mubiri ne bongere bamukuba amasasi amalala n'agwa wansi kati bwagudde wansi emmotoka ya trailer ebadde eva ekireka ng'edda emukono bwe yesitudde amatala okuba mu bantu abo ne bakyusa ne bakuba abantu abalala badde ebusala kkubo ne liyitamu lino olumu gwe likutte eriiso n'omulala gwe likutte ekibegabega naye nga ye afiiriddewo naye omu ku bantu abakoseddwa poliisi etutte abamu abafudde omulala nsobodde okumuyamba kuba musoosezza ewaziwa ng'abantu babadde badduseewo bonna n'abasawo ne musaze ekkubo ne mufunira booda ne mutwala mu ggwatiro gyali essaawa wakati gyali okufuna obujjanjabi
mbadde nva kukola nga bulijjo saawa zibadde nga 2:45 mbadde mwegowa trial eyo
bantegeezezza nti omulambo gwa Sheik Hassan Kiria guli mu ddwaliro ekkulu e Mulago gye bali mu gukolerako postmortem oba okugwekenneenya naye nga ye omusasi waffe Dean Lubowasava ali ku muzikiti y'Ekibuli enteekateeka gye zikolebwa okulaba nti basabira omwoyo gwe nga tegunnaba kuzikibwa. Dean tuli naye. Hello Dean.
Weebale nnyo Farida. Embeera yatabuse edda wano ku kasozi Kibuli emiranga gyazeemu dda oluvannyuma lwabadde omwogezi w'ekiwayi ky'Ekibuli wano wennyini we tuli olwaleero Sheik Ibrahim Hassan Kiria okubwa amasasi mu kiro ekyakeeseza olunaku lwajjo abantu batandise okukuŋŋaana wano ku kasozi Kibuli era ng'omulambo omubiri gwe gwabadde gwasuze wano wabula ne bagujjaho okugutwala ku ddwaliro ekkulu okusobola okulaba nga bamuggyamu amasasi abiri agamukubiddwa mu kifuba n'okutuusa kati okwo embeera ekyali ya kiyongobero nnyo nga bw'owulira nti abantu bonna buli omu akyebuuza ki ekyakubiza Kiria wabula nga kye tulina okujjukira kiri kimu nti Hassan Kiria oluvannyuma nga bamaze okukuba abasiraamu bali ababiri abattibwa ku ntandikwa y'omwezi kuno okwali Mustafa Bahiga n'omulala gwe baali bakubidde esayidi z'Embale waliwo lisiti eyafuluma nga bategeeza nti abakyakubwa bakyali bangi era nga Hassan Kiria abadde ku lisiti eyo kubaddeko Sudik Ndawula kubaddeko Haruna Jemba so Haruna Jemba ye n'okusimatuka yasimatuka era naye baali bamulumbye mu wakati awo mwezi gw'okusatu abantu bagezaako kumukuba amasasi era baali nabo babiri ku bodaboda naye amasasi ago n'agasimatuka okunoonyerezako okukyagenda maaso poliisi yo yayiiriddwa dda ku kasozi Kibuli era buli ayingira alina okubeera ng'ayazibwa awatali yadde okubeera nga tolina woyinza kubeera ng'ogamba nti osimatuka naye embeera ekyaliwo buli muntu alindiridde omubiri gujje wano waliwo olukiiko olukyagenda mu maaso akafubo akatuuliddwamu nga kakulembeddwamu omulangira Akasimu Nakibinge n'abasiraamu abalala abakulemberawo obusiraamu obw'oluuyi luno olw'Ekibuli baagala kubaako bibateesaako oluvannyuma n'okumanya wa gy'agenda okuziikibwa tusuubira nti ku ssaawa 5 omubiri gw'omugenzi gujja kuba gutuusibwa wano kasozi Kibuli awo okusaala kugende mu maaso okutongole batubulire naki kye bazzaako abantu be abamu babadde bazzeeko wano naye kati batwaliddwa kuba omubiri bagenda gunaaliza ku ddwaliro e Mulago banaaba bamaze okumunaaza balyoke bamuleete wano okusaba kugende mu maaso n'okwogera okugenda okw'enjawulo n'abamu ku abo ababaddewo be yasembyeyo okusaala nabo kuba bagamba nti yasaalidde ku muzikiti oguli okuulira n'ennyanja ya Kabaka then we yavudde ku ssaawa nga 2 n'alinnya emmotoka n'agenda okutuuka we bamukubidde bw'oyogerera awo ku nkulungo we bamukubidde amasasi wabula abantu bakyebuuza ekintu kimu nti kiki kye baagala bano abali mu kuba bannaabwe kuba enkuba y'emu ku Sheik kakati ono wa 6 ng'ogasseeko ne gwe baakakuba ku nkomerero y'omwezi ogwo guwedde gwe babadde baakakuba sayidi z'Embale eyo ono kati wa 6 naye ng'ababakuba bagira ku bodaboda na Mmundu okusinziira ku batu ababeerawo bwe batunyonyola beebuuza kiki ekibakubya poliisi tenaba kufulumya alipooti n'emu wabula tulinda tulabe ekinaba kizeeko katulinde ebigenda maaso naye ng'embeera bwetyo bweyimiridde kasozi wano Kibuli buli omu akyali mu kiyongobero. Hello?
Kwogerako n'abantu ababadde okumpi ne Kiria kituufu nti abadde alina omukuumi okuva lwe yeemulugunya yaweebwa omukuumi
okuva lwe yaweebwa eri poliisi bagamba baamuwa omukuumi era bwe bamukubidde ekiro bagamba yabadde alina emmundu Kiria yennyini yali yeeripootinga era ku poliisi ne bamuwa pisto ne bamuwayo n'emmundu endala abadde atambula n'emmundu 2 naye nga bw'omanyi nti mu busiraamu tugamba ajaliyo bwe beetuuse oba gye bayita entuuko ebyo byonna bisobola obutakutaasa naye ng'abadde alina omukuumi gw'abadde atambula naye mu nnaku 2 emabega yabadde amugambye agire ng'awummulamu ng'alaba ng'embeera eteredde kyokka mu kuwummula ku lwabadde tali naye lwe baamukubye ekiro teyabadde namukuumi we baamukubidde.
Okay, inna lillahi wa inna lillahi raji'un. Tufunye ebifaananyi webale nnyo Dean Lubowasa. Tufunye ebifaananyi ebiraga embeera eri kati ku muzikiti Ekibuli. Katulabe kiki ekigenda maaso.
Zabadde essaawa 12 n'eddakiika 55 omwaziinyi bwe yamaze okwaziina abasiraamu twakuŋŋaanidde ku kyokulya kyaffe twabadde mu muzikiti. Muzikiti ogwo baguyita Masjidi Daru Ta'alim al-Islami oguliraanye ennyanja ya Kabaka. Twabadde tuli awo Sheikh Ibrahim Hassan Kirya nga tannaba kutweyungako. Bwe twabadde mu muzikiti nga tuli mu kusiibulukuka twabadde tuli awo ng'atoola salaamu n'ayingira gye tuli. Bwe yayingidde gye tuli mwana wattu n'atweyungako ku kyokulya kyaffe. Ekyokulya waabadde wasigaddewo menvu. Sheikh Omar Siddiq Ndawula n'atumya entende mu mmotoka ye. Sheikh ko entende zaabadde 3 n'eryenvu lyabadde limu. Sheikh Omar Siddiq oluvannyuma bwe yamaze okumuwa entende n'azirya. Bwe yamaze okuzirya n'asituka agende afune wuzu. Seeka Kirya ye yasituse agende afune ki? Wuzu. Bwe yabadde tannaba kweyongerayo tulina ekifo ekyo waliwo eyabadde akoze contribution ya nsawo za seminti 3. Kyava ategeeza landiroodi n'amugamba nti owooluganda gye mbadde gye ntambulidde waliwo ampadde ensawo za seminti 3 naye sala amagezi siva wano nazo. Seeka Ibrahim Kirya namugamba sala amagezi siva wano naki nazo. Naye bwe kana akutanda ne neerabira ne ŋŋenda nazo zandibeera nga sizizo. N'ekisala amagezi onzijukize nga sinnava wano nzikole ki? Nzikuwe. Bw'atyo n'afuluma n'agenda ebweru n'afuna wuzu n'akomawo ne tusaala naye esswala ya magharibi ye sswala ey'essaawa emu. Seeka twamaze okusaala naye magharibi tetwafulumye muzikiti. Yasigadde mu muzikiti ng'anyumye ne munne Sheikh Omar Siddiq. Bwe yamaze okunyumya naye watuuka akaseera bannannyini kuleeta mmere gye tusiibulukirako ne bagiteeka we twabadde tulina okugiriira okutuusa oli kwe kutugamba nti seeka emmere yammwe yiiyo. Ne basitukayo bombiriri we babadde batudde ye ne munne Sheikh Omar Siddiq ne bajja ne batuula we baatudde. Bwe baatudde naffe nga nange kwendi ne tubeetabako ne tufuna ekyokulya ekyo. Bwe twakiridde bwe twamaze okukirya mwana wattu omwaziinyi w'esswala esembayo gye bayita Salatul Isha n'ayaziina ne bafuluma ebweru ne banaaba mu ngalo ne bayingira ne tusaala nabo esswala ya Isha. Bwe twamaze okusaala esswala ya Isha ne tufuluma wabweru. Seeka Ibrahim Hassan Kirya n'agamba abamu kufa abaabaddewo nti ettooke eryo muliteeke mu mmotoka ya Seeka Umaru Siddiiki. Ne tuliteekayo, n'agamba n'omulala naawe ettooke eryo litwale, n'agamba n'omulala naawe eryo litwale, n'agamba n'omulala naawe eryo litwale. Ekyaddiridde kwe kugamba ffe nti naago agasigaddeko mugateeke mu muzikiti. Enkya gye mujja okusiibula okukkirako, gye mujja okufumbanga futaali. Era ku mutwe ekyo n'agamba n'ebyo ebikajjo ebiriko nabyo mubiteeke emikajjo enkya. N'ezo ennaanansi nazo muziringize ekyo mujja mu muzikiti ogwo gwennyini. Komerero yabyonna tusigalawo nga tunyunyunzaso okutuusa abantu nebasaasaana ne batambula nabo bwe batyo bafaanaganye, buli omu n'akwata emmotoka ye ne butwawukana. Enkomerero ya byonna twabadde tuli mu maka gaffe, abamu tutambula twagenze kuwulira masimu nti abange bwe twawukanye naye bamukubye amasasi afudde. Bamukubidde wa? Bamukubidde bweyogerere wa nti bamukubidde ku round about. Mubadde mu jjaamu, abadde ayimiridde ng'alina waagenzeeko abeeko byagula, wakavuvuŋŋana awo amasasi ne ganyooka, naye ng'ekinyusi babadde baagalamu Seeka Ibrahim Hassan Kirya bwe bamaze omumukuba nabo ne banoonya amakubo wawe baayise. Tebaategeerekese kubanga baatwaliddemu n'obulamu bw'abantu abaki abalala. Bwe tutyo ne tubuuza nti nno bali ludda wa? Bamututte wa? Ne batugamba nti bamututte mu Mulago. Twagenze okutuuka ekiro e Mulago, twasiŋŋaanye taliiyo. Ne batugamba nti tudda ne tukubira bannaffe amasimu nti ali Kibuli. Ne tusimbula ebigere, twasibidde Kibuli n'essaawa ya kaakati. Tulinze ebiddako, naye yeebale nnyo, yeebalire eddala yasse Sheikh. Nze ayogera ebyo ndi omu ku bayizi be. Naye nze n'oyo yasse Seeka oba ffe n'oyo yasse Seeka tumulinze mu maaso ga Allah. Ajja tusasula, ayagala tayagala.
Kitalo nnyo ekya Sheik Hassan Kirya oyo ayogera y'omu ku bantu abasembeyo okumulabako akawungezi kajjo nga tannaba kuttibwa. Nkujikiza nti Sheik Kirya yabadde omwogezi w'ekiwayi eky'Ekibuli ekyali kikulirwa Sheik Kayongo naye eyafa emabega kaawo. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'una. Katuwumulemu katono nnyo ebya Sheik tujja tubikomekerezaawo okutuusa mawulire gaffe ag'okusaawa 7. Oli ku programu mwasiza mutya?
This one is for you, mama.
Turn moments into memories with our trusted internet. Airtel, the smartphone network.
nobody, you get it?
It's okay. We don't have to talk if you don't want to.
Why are you looking at me like that? What is it?
You know what your problem is, Ignacia? You always seem to be in the wrong place. Goodbye, Ignacia.
Program oli ku mwasi edda omwana omuwala bwe yafumbirwanga nga alina embuzi kyabanga kitiibwa kyamaanyi era balina n'emikolo gye bakolanga okusiima omwana oyo ne bakadde be olw'okwekuuma. Ennaku zino kyewuunyisa era twebuuza embuzi zino zaalagawa. Embuzi ndowooza muzitegedde. Ndi ne Ssenga Hamida Namatovu okwongera okwekenneenya ensonga eyo. Tezikyali mu kitiibwa oba tuzijalamiza nga bwe twagala kubanga tulaba nti ensi yeekula. Senga tukwaniriza nnyo.
Nange mbaaniriza bannange abatulaba ku mwasuze muti embeera tewoomya n'akabululu, naye twava eri Mukama Katonda era eriye gye tulina okudda, tulina okuguma naye kinene. Maama oyogedde ku mbuzi era nenkwebaza banaye abatulaba embuzi nga bwogeza alagawa.
Gwabanga mulimu gwa muzikuuma.
Embuzi kwabanga mulimu gw'abazadde okukuuma abaana ne babeera nga balamu bulungi, tebeera ludde. Era waaliwo ndooza n'ekivumo singa omwana yabeeranga afumbiddwa nga mukulu, kye baakuvumanga nga basala mu ngoye esuuka ng'ebyo ebituli ne bagiteeka mu sitenseni ne balaga nti omuzadde takoze. Naye kiki kye twafiirwa? Embuzi zo weeziri, abaana abazirina bwe bali, naye ndowooza emikolo gyazo tegikyalondoolwa. N'abamu nze nfunye ennamba nnene njirina abaana abafumbiddwa nga ddala si mpange nga amanyi waliwo abalanga ku puroguramu zino ku mativi agamu nti nze embuzi ngizaako. Ekyo kintu kya bulimba nnyo era kya bujinga bajjemu. Embuzi maama kyabanga kitiibwa kya mukyala oba n'ekitiibwa ky'abazadde abaleza omwana. Nolwekyo nga tetunaba nagigenda wala, nkubiriza abatulaba nga mwe muyina embuzi zammwe temuzeggyako. Embuzi kye kintu kyokka ekyasaasizanga omukyala ne bakuwako eyo emala okusobola okuyigiriza by'olina okukola. Kakati olwaleero omuntu agibwako embuzi eyo yonna gye baba bagiwuutidde, oli n'agirya embuzi ya munne n'omuguwa n'agusuula. Oluusi nga n'omuguwa ne bw'ogunoonya tokyayinza kugulaba. Kyokka ne balowooza nti omuwala ono olw'okuba talina mbuzi nti ategeera bulungi eby'obufumbo. Embuzi okuva lwe yavaawo, amaanyi agaayibwanga ku muntu omusomesa kyagendako ne gakendeera, kye kitubonyaabonya mu bufumbo.
Oli nakitwala nti kiri automatic olina kubanga omanyi kyoti.
Bw'obanga wagenda ne bakuggyako embuzi alabanga gwe ategeera buli kimu. Era n'abazadde mwena mwena abalaba nammwe abaafumbirwa kyovula nze mbayita ne mbabudaabuda olw'eyo ensonga eyabeerawo. Negamba nti gwe tomalaayo wadde nteekamu akasente naye jangu nkuyigirize kye mukola. N'omusajja negamba bakyala tonoba, n'omwami togoba mukyala, kubanga buli twabanga n'embuzi ng'ogenda oli muto nga bakubuulira ku buyonjo, okunaaba, okusenya, okukola kutya, biki buli kintu kyonna kyonna nga bafaayo, kiki ekigenda okutuukako, kiki ky'onaalaba, butya bw'ojjamu ekituufu mu kikaawo ekyo ojjamu otya ekiwooma, babanga bakufaako. Naye okuva ekintu ekyo eky'embuzi lwe bakiwumoggolamu ebituli abantu abeenoonyeza ebyabwe nga balaga nti omukazi bw'abeera embuzi abambuzi ddala, ekireeta abaana baffe ogenda obasobyako. Oluusi abalenzi be bannyonnyola abawala nti gwe nkuyamba buyambi okujja mu mbeera y'okubeera embuzi. N'olwekyo ekyo ekintu mu Busiraamu kitugamba nti ng'omuwala ali bikira tekigenda kuvaawo kitiibwa kyakyo era kye kisinga obulungi mu nsi. Era wejjusa nnyo olunaku lwe baagikuggyako ng'olaba ng'omuyaaye era ng'omubbi bw'abeera nti yakubbako ebibyo eby'omuwendo. Kubanga nga bwe tulabye oyingira obufumbo nga tolina mbuzi balabanga gwe ategeera. Naddala bambi omuntu azadde, waliwo abaana abazaala nga bato bamutataaganyizza embuzi lwe bagiridde lwafunye olubuto. kati bwatuuka ogenda okufumba tebamusomesa kintu kyonna balowooza akola ki abitegeera nekireetawo embeera enzibu yonna gye tulimu mu bufumbo yava ku kujjawo mbuzi n'abazadde okufaayo kwabwe
bwenfumulanga nina embuzi yange banjagala nnyo bansoosowaza okusinga oli asaagirina
bw'oba n'embuzi kikulu nnyo famire efaayo famire eno efaayo ng'olina embuzi nekusomesa kati olaba ntubeera misomo abantu b'ekikakyo n'omwami we aba ne keya gyakuwa n'amanya nti mukyala wange bwe mbadde mulaba si bwabadde kitiibwa naye kati keya omwami bwakusanga teriika alabanga gwe buli kimu akikolaki
akitegeera okulowooza ni yagitwala
ne bwaba tamulowoozezza alowooza nti bukyeso okimanyi okukyesa n'enkaaga naye ng'ekyeso tokimanyi wabula emboozi teriiwo ndoze kyekyava kirala abazadde omulimu gwabwe ogubeebazibwa tibaleze bulungi abaana nagwo ne guvaawo kuba kyobula abatuli mu musaayi bakebera obulwadde siriimu tugamba bakebere ne esi ddala tuli twakeberanga esi nga gye tufaako noga nti bagende bakebere oba ayina sikira oba ayina ebirwadde ebirala naye kaakati bali ku siriimu nti abazadde keya yavaawo kyuma kati abazungu abasawo be bakuumira abazadde abaana baabwe kuba bagamba nti alina obulwadde oba tayina n'olwekyo ekyo kyekitiibwa ekyavaawo
ennaku zino kimanyi nti waliwo omusajja agamba zisaagala mukazi wa mbuzi
era
bangi
embuzi omusajja ayonoonye nnyo abaana b'abantu ng'agenda abatulugunya abato mu myaka si kituufu katonda abamulyaza amanyi ate omuwa omukazi w'embuzi n'olwekyo ne bwanagamba tajagala ne katonda tasobola gimuwa kuba oyo omuntu omukama amuwa balondemu ate abamu ne babanga bisosonkolo olusinga ebyamagi nga tamanyi kyafunye oyo tumukwatako bulungi okuva ku dde wano n'avaamu omukyala omusufu gwe weetaaga nga buli matiriyo yonna agirina naye singa bamu baba bamusosonkoddeko ebitundu babasomesa baba banafu naawe bw'omusango olabanga ategeera kyokka nga ebintu byakola tebirina embuzi atategeerera ddala kuba wano mu ggwanga lyaffe terya traininga gwe bagenda kwendako tinnakuziza abaana bange bakamba training babendeko tekiriiyo
buli muntu aba alina kyategekera omwana we naye ne bano abantu baffe tebaganyiza abaana baffe kuuma mbuzi
tebaganyiza kuuma mbuzi ate n'abazadde nabo tebanyonyodde baana kirungi kirimu sengenda kinyonyola mu yunivasite era nebaza abafumbiddwa nga mundaba kati n'abali e bulaaya nga mubadde muyina embuzi zammwe temugenda kuseetuka muli ne muyina omutindo omunene ekyo kyekituufu tetusobola kugamba tugenda kukulaakulanya eggwanga ly'abagwenyufu nti embuzi mbi nange asinga midano ndi wano ngambe nti embuzi mbi omwana aba mbuzi ddala nedda embuzi kyakitiibwa kifunibwa oyo mukama gwalonzeemu mu baami ne mu bakyala katonda gwayagadde ne mu famire gyayagadde katonda mwekibeera
abamu bagamba mbu ekikufuula embuzi ku myaka egyo gyofumbiddwa ku myaka 25 28 obeera obadde mubi tewali akwegomba tewali akwegomba
obeera mulungi kuba kati tulina abaana era abalina embuzi gye bali naye nga balungi era batambula bulungi naye nga bwe tuba twogedde ku bazadde osobola okulaba omwana nti tannayonooneka ebikolwa bingi nnyo ffenna ababeera n'abaana nayayonoonesa era naye n'omulaba kuba ebintu bingi nnyo 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 bye tukebera nze nkebera ebintu bingi kubanga nze nyinza okujja wako okebera embuzi ezo
okebera n'embuzi senga
nsobola okukebera nga sikebedde ate mwana naye nga nkebedde engoye z'omwana zakozesa naddala nga bonnika obwo sobola okubuulira nti ono omukyamu ono mutuufu
olabira ku ki
bingi nnyo ebirabibwa singa oba weegadda nze n'abasajja bingi nnyo maaka nnyingi nnyo abasajja ze batulekako nga batulambye eziraga ekintu ekyo naye nga ki kye twagala olwaleero mubadde muweddemu amaanyi abalina embuzi bangi gye muli muweddemu amaanyi abamu bagamba muli babi abamu bagamba nti mulina amagezi n'ebirala abamu babagamba nti muli mbuzi ddala nedda nnyabwe embuzi eyo lwaki bagyogera waliwo omuntu mwe yabanga muto abazadde abo abakuumye baweewanga ekitiibwa nga babawa akabuzi akatondoza muba mutunudde mu balunda ffe abalunzi omulunzi yekka yalya ku nnyama y'embuzi eyo so ono omuntu atambula tasobola kugifuna naye ennyama eyo bw'ogirya mu bulamu bwaffe buno obw'obuntu ezzaamu nnyo ezzaamu n'egattagatta ebintu bingi yalibwanga bazadde bali abalabiridde omwana ng'ate olusi bagirya bafumbanga bakafumbye bulungi supu waako ngeri gye kaba katoototo asobola okuba nga alimu omunnyo ng'adde temwagukoze eki temwagutaddemu ne kaliibwa abantu abo balabiridde omwana ne bababudaabuda ne baddamu nabo ne baddamu amaanyi singa obeera ng'ofumbiza abaana bo ne baweeranga bananga balina embuzi oba basatu oddiramu ddala amaanyi osobola okuba nga naawe olabika bulungi
oba oliawo kyebaba nga tebafaayo nnyo okulaba nti abaana bakuuma embuzi
tebamanya ekitiibwa kirimu
n'ekyo kyotugamba bali embuzi etalimu ani ayagala okulya embuzi etalimu
kalungi nnyo yo osobola oggirya ennyama nneeno giraba ennyama y'embuzi zaalabirirwanga bulungi ebeera erimu omunnyo wadde baba bagifumbye nga kasupu katono osobola oggirya ng'erimu omunnyo
balibaddewo okuwaliriza oba abazadde nabo okufaayo okulaba nti abaana abo
nedda abazadde tebamanya
balibadde bafuna ekintu ekyamaanyi
bakuwa ebirabo ebirala ebyamaanyi naye ekirimu kiri kyabulamu embuzi eyo kyabulamu kiringa bwe tugamba ti amata g'ente gano agasooka nga bagikama waliwo ente ogikama amata agasooka ago ganywebwa mulunzi naye atalunda tasobola kuganywa naye nga gavumula endwadde empitirivu mu mubiri gw'omuntu omukulu naddala ne ku baana kakati ne kino kitiibwa ekyo kirimu okuvumula endwadde kati olwaliro ojja n'olaba endwadde zaali zivumulwa ebyo ebintu nga bweziri zitambula naye nga tezisobodde kukola ki ojja n'olaba omuntu yakazaala olose omwana n'omu bababiri naye ng'atunula ng'azadde ekyalo kyonna talina wawumulyako n'afuna keya naye wali omuntu yaddangamu n'azaala abaana be 16 nga waali oba okitegeera nga waali n'omulunzi kyafunibwanga omulunzi ekitiibwa ekyo kifunibwa omulunzi n'alabiridde obulungi abaana be
senga kituufu nti omuwala akyawa nnyo omusajja amuggyeko embuzi
tewali ansa nnyo gye tuyina naye olwokuba nti nno ensitaano ebaawo nti eri damage obeera olumwa obulumi era tugamba obulumi mwe muva ekiwooma era kisinza okutta abakyala nze kyensomesaako nga nkirinamu obukugu nti singa bakutwala ne bakutulugunya mu ngeri etaliiko asaasira terina nakeeya gye tukuwadde tetukwongeddemu oba butiko oba biki oba kiki ekikunyiga oba kikubudaabuda abantu abasinga mu bulamu bwabwe bayinza obutaba mukwano kubanga ojja n'obeera ng'obulumi bwakusaanikira jjukira omukwano gukolwa bwongo kati obulumi bwasaanikira obwongo ne bubuggalira kati tosobola kutambuza kintu kyonna kigenda mu maaso kya mukwano bulungi so luli twamanyanga nti ono abadde bw'ati tukuwa ebintu ebizuukusa obwongo bwo mu kikaawa n'ojjamu ekiwooma n'otambula bulungi naye kati abantu babeera mu bikaawa bonna boolaba n'abakazi abakulu kyova olaba bagambye nti bakyawa nnyo abaabakozesa mu budde obwo nti babeera mu bikaawa essaawa bina ng'alowooza mu bulumi era ng'ajjukira n'obwo naye wano twakikwatangako bulungi nga kyekifuula omuntu omulamu era kati ekimu kifudde abantu abalwadde oba abazibu ennyo kuba gajambulako byabwe ne batabudwabudwa ate nga omukwano gukolwa bwongo obwongo bulimu kaddame gyako kati basobola kutambuliza bulungi
kale senga katumulemu katono nnyo tovaawo tugenda kuwa omukisa okuba essimu tujja kukwatayo essimu nga 3 akadde katambudetambudde mutubulire lwaki mwakyawa embuzi mwabazirya nammwe abazigabangula tukomawo
ekifo ekimu kissa wamusu n'ekyalo ekiweddeko abamanye bakiraza mumwa tugenda kutuuka gy'oli oyogere naffe ebikwata ku kyalo kyo embeera mw'okolera ebyobufuzi ebyobulamu n'ensonga endala nnyingi ebyogerwa tebiyita tuusa eddoboozi lyo yogera naffe buli lwakuna otereevu ku NTV akawungeezi.
On the next episode.
Suraj, pardon me. I don't intend to mock you. Sandhya is making it sound like a bed of roses. But the rosy picture she has drawn is not at all true. Amongst the top cooks of the world, only 100 are chosen. Can you be that winner?
Listen, Vikram. Are you awake? I'm not able to sleep. You know, I am feeling as if there are some ghosts around me in our room and they are dancing in front of me.
Programu oliko mwasemu tulina Senga Hamida Namatovu twongera ku nsonga enkulu ey'embuzi. Shamim Katengwa agamba edda tewabangawo courtship naye ng'ennaku zino omuwala yeerondera gw'ayagala n'abeera naye ne babeera ng'abeera abakale oyinza okwekuumako ebbanga naye olw'okuba nti olina chansi y'okusisinkana omulenzi buli kiseera n'osanga ng'otendewaliddwa so ng'edda omuwala bwe balabanga ng'atuuse nga bamufunira omulenzi amusaana ekyo ne kimuziyiza obutawaayo mbuzi nga tannafumbirwa singa ndowooza ebiseera obigeraageranya edda omwana teyatabaalanga nnyo ennaku ze tuba n'okusoma kutwala ebbanga ggwanvu nedda omuwala bamufumbizanga ne ku myaka 17 aba tannabakulaba nnyo
ekisoboka naye wadde tewaaliwo okutegeeragana kwabangawo kate ndaba yedda yeyaleetamu n'ebisoko bingi nti edda bw'otunuulira ndoza tujja nakyo kiwa puroguramu okubalaga nti baalabanga batya ababeezi bw'olaba omuwala ono kyannyonnyodde kale tewaaliwo okusisinkana naye bw'abanga okwalingawo naye ng'ogenda n'abakuwerekedde tebakkirizanga muwala kwesitulanga mulwadde kugenda wa musajja kuba gwe omusajja omuliro tegusobola kuliraana na muzigo ekyo baalinga bakimanyi
naye ng'ekyo olabye ddala kisobola okubeera mu nnaku zino
kisobola okubeerawo nga basomye ku yunivasite ne bamaliriza gye baali ate nga bawala balungi si babi guba mutima gw'omuntu
nenyinyonyola
omwana mwogera naye waka n'akusaasiranga ggwe n'obeera ng'ojjukiza nti embuzi oteekawo maama omuzadde oteekawo embeera emukuumisa embuzi ye n'abatamugajambula omuntu abaana babafumbiza nga batuufu naye olwaleero omuwala yeesitula yekka n'agenda ew'omulenzi kyobula atubagaana genze wekka asobola okuyiikiriza ebintu ebiyiikiriza byabaalimu kubanga babalenzi tebaagala kutoola ebyo byonna byonna bagamba mwala muto atoole ate waliwo ensi ezimu nga zo tezimanyi nti nno omuwala bamuwasa ng'ensi zentambulamu nti bawasa omukazi nga talina mbuzi
ogamba ensi oba
amawanga ensi ng'ezo ez'abawarabu n'endala zo zimanyi ku obe wa myaka 4 olina okuba n'embuzi yo kasita oba nga tofumbirwangako kuba bo bakimanyi ekitiibwa ky'omukazi ne wano ekyavaawo abakazi naffe ffennyini tuyambye nnyo okulinnyirira ekitiibwa kyaffe ekyo kyekitiibwa ky'omukyala lyeddembe y'ensonga tebasobola kusanga na mbuzi ne bw'otambula n'omalako eggwanga lino puresha tebaawo
ffe tulowooza mbu okwewaayo olwokoze nnyo
tetweyagala kubanga akati ekitubonyabonya amidde ojja kulaaya yes era kyabayogera abamutuufu kuba yansanga embuzi sigirina n'ebirala byonna byonna byeyandisanzeeko naye singa nsanga nga ndi wamu ne olwaleero ne bwoba weekumye ng'oli mukazi nakusanga omunaakula ng'oli wamu amanya nti ne bwonaagenda ewalalo yonna yonna ojja kukomawo ng'olinga bwewakoze eki bwewagenze naye embeera eriwaawo
bwoba si bwe kibadde naye muli mu kiroozi agamba weyekumira emyaka giri gyonna nemufuna ku myaka 25
nga alina embuzi ye tasobola kubanga ate wano lwanaalemwa kwega omunnyonnyola katono naye olwaleero omukazi w'olwaleero wakuyiga
naye ng'asobola kubajjukira li yali talina kyamanyi naye kati akitegere naga bibeera
ne bw'aba alina kyamanyi kakati olaba ekyafumbyanga abakyala b'edda n'abakyala mu bufumbo bw'abanga nga toweegaddanze mu kyalo ne bwafunanga omwami nga mwanange mulwadde kyovula obulwadde buno balwadde simaya biki abasajja mubimanyi tebyalingawo ffe twawangayo omuzadde ng'owaayo ddagala mwana wo kyakunyumiriza kwongeramu maanyi mu mwana ow'obulenzi n'omugaa lino limuteere mukaawa kati nga lyengabo erimu nembaga liteeke mukaawa erimu lifumba olinywe erimu likola eki nga tuwaayo buwi temuwala wo towanga afunemu ekirungi naye nga omuwala ne bwewamuwasanga nga tolina maanyi ng'obeera naye ng'era taloopa oba okitegeera kubanga yabanga tatabadde kyalo naye olwaliro nabe yabeerawo omwana kwe kutabaala ekyalo n'afuna ne bayagala abalungi ate n'afumbirwa mulala gw'atayagala.
Okay, simu twaziguddewo dda kuba tubuulire kiki kyolowooza. Hello? Wangi nnyabo. Nasize bulungi, wasuze otya?
Kale nnyabo.
Ai, kwanza nina ekibuzo naye kyawukanako ku ebyo bye mwogerako leero. Kakati senga mbuuza omuntu aba talina kateni tazaala.
Bw'aba takola ki?
Bw'aba talina kateni tazaala.
Bw'aba talina kateni? Curtain.
Ate n'ekirala abasawo bagamba nti kateni mbi naye ate abamu bagamba nti kateni mungi kati kiriwo ekituufu.
Webale nnyo kasifuna omulala. Hello, tulemere nnyo ku mulamwa. Hello. Prince Nkola Herbert Wairagara agamba abawala abasinga balowooza nti okwegabangula kwe kulaga omukwano eri omwagalwa waabwe. Hello, wangi sebo.
Jebale Farida.
Kale sebo nawe jebaleko.
Kale nyawo. Senga Hamida mulamusiza.
Sebo.
Webale okutusomeseza abakazi.
Nemu. Okay.
Amina.
Okay, asima busimi. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Wanji sebo. Walaikum salam. Jebaleko sebo.
Hello sebo.
Salamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Jebaleko sebo.
Musiri ndala kweli kama ongereza birungi.
Wanji? Jako TV yoddemu okuba essimu. Tufune omulala. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Mbalamusiza pulogulamu mwebale giweereza.
Kale sebo naye webale kulaba.
Nga miido oyo n'amatovu mwagala nnyo.
Nange nkwagala.
Onabeera mwambala jini ndi lw'amaggwa kooki. Kakati senga oyo agenze n'atugamba nti abaana bakyalina embuzi abawala bakyaliyo. Naye gyali senga lwaki tatuyamba n'atufunirayo omuwala akyalina embuzi n'amutwala ow'omukyalo ono eyali minisita w'ebyempisa Miriam. Omanyi ebbanga lyamala nga minisita w'empisa yali ataddewo ente ye singa omuwala avaayo ng'ali mbuzi agimuweereze, naye okuva olwo essaawa ya leero tetufunanga
ate yandiprovinze atya
ya minisita oyo.
Yandiprovinze atya minisita.
Singa oleeta omuwala ng'ali mbeerera ente eyo agiwangule, naye okuva olwo n'essaawa ya leero tefunanga agiwangula.
Abaala baali tebaagala kufuna nte eyo kubanga kyali kitegeeza balina okusooka okumenya embuzi eyo balyoke bakuwe.
Abawala babaddewo bangi.
Abawala bo gye bali embeera
ekirabo twakinoonya ne kibula. Ekirabo ekyo eky'embuzi nze saakiriimu, ekyokuwa omuntu anaabeera n'embuzi. Nfumbiza abantu bangi nnyo nga bazirina naye ekirabo saakisaamanya wekiri. Newokinoonya twakinoonya kuba n'omugenzi oyo omugenzi Buye Mukama amuwumuze bulungi ow'Emakindye yali ng'alina puroguramu eyo be baali mu ekyo ne mugamba nti abaana baaba n'embuzi zizo.
Naye nga bandi badde babapimirako ki?
Abaami baabwe babawasanga nga batuwa ansa.
Of course naye omwami yali badde ayagala embuzi najja n'atugamba muwange namusanga mbuzi.
Nedda abawala abaana bonna weebali. Ekintu ky'omukwano abazadde n'abaleza abaana n'amaka kati ng'alina waliwo n'ennaku ezo be bafumbiza ebbanga ndoza terinawera ddene naye ng'omuwala alina embuzi omu. Naye abafumbidwa naye ekirabo kyagenda wala bakiteekamu bantu balala ffe tetukiriimu kati embuzi zisigala zitambula.
Naffe tetukyayagala kuwasa kyokka bwe tuba tukwana oyo musajja Serunjo Genius kyokka bwe tuba tukwana twefuula abaagala okusooka okuloza kale awo ne baluuzinga their virginities.
Ate nekiralo yagambye nti bwe baba bakwana bakazi bamanyi ti okwegabaagaba bw'oba oyagala omusajja ekyo kikyamu. Ekintu kwegabaagaba banaye kaadi yeeyo yandibadde tetunulwamu akazannyo kaako tekazannyibwamu muntu gw'otayagala bulungi mu mutima waawo. Kale tufuna abakwabuzi kyansi ne bakwabula naye wandijjusiza bukyali n'obeera. Ate waliwo n'omukyala abugambye ku ssimu n'agamba nti kateni kulaga ekitiibwa nga bwe tugamba embuzi n'olaga nti oyina wooli n'olina w'oyimiridde mugenda ne mwekwasa nze bannange ezikankule ffenna tuzaala ffe tubadde badokita bagayino bayitirivu ne bwe mbamenya wano siwulirangako aŋŋamba nti kateni eyo balina ogisala oba amabaati wasereka bubi ennyumba oba bagasaleyo oba bagagjeyo. Sena abatwebaza bwebaza ne bakola nabo ebyabwe by'okuzaala. Ekyo tekiyingira mu kuzaala, kiyingira mu kusanyusa omutima gwo n'omubiri gwo ne kiyingira kateni n'amabaati ne galaga nti gwe bwennyini weeyinamu keya. Era omwami atulaba kati osanga omuntu ng'ayiwadde otuleberebe nga tutono nagamba weebazeeko osiimako abaami muyitiriza obutasiima ne mujjamu abantu baffe mulaalo ekola ekintu ekyo n'ekirala nti okwagala oba obutaagala tukirabye nti waliwo kati embeera eriwo nti abakyala tebaagala bagamba olinze nnyo ekintu kyendabanga ekigaana okuzaala nti waliwo obutaagala bwe tutaagala waliwo tugeze nti tubadde mu mukwano waliwo ebintu ebitambula tulabe nga bwolaba ekintu kinene mundo zanka tunakyogerako ng'ekisibo kiwedde ekitambula mu mukwano kati ekyo singa kibulawo kyekigaana abantu okuzaala kuba ojja kwesanga nga noono omukomerezi bw'aleeta okukomerera ennyondo terina kitwala kyandibadde kitwala nga bwoga nti omwala gwatemwa bulungi gutwala amazzi nga tegutwala omukutu gwazibikira kyekigaana okuzaala
ebyokukomerera nnyondo n'amabaati tunabyogerako olundi akadde katutemaye olw'ebyo bye twasoose okukolako olwaleero katukomaawo osanga emboozi omulamwa guno tuliguza omulundi naye nga kyo kikyali kitiibwa kyamaanyi ekyokukuuma embuzi tolina
ekyokukuuma embuzi kitiibwa kyamaanyi ddala ddala gwagirina tojejjaako aye naawe yasanga omukyala ng'agirina oba wabadde omwagala bwagazi kale nga takoze emikolo giri wagitta
ate kinewuunyisa bano abazikwakula bwatuuka okumulaga nange njagala mbuzi kyokka agenza azikwakula
towulidde omwana
nomulala bwanaagenda
azikwakulaagenti embuzi yowera amagwa munjogera abadde awakanya tosanga embuzi tekola ki teriiyo ndowooza nga tumaliriza
siddemu nate
tusinkane mu kuziika ewamitanda buliwo mwezi gwa 8
musiibe bulungi mweraba senga webale nnyo salamu alaikum
NTV, turning on your world.
Stay closer for longer. 12 hours fresh breath with close-up deep action. Discover the new look of close-up deep action. Your refreshing close-up now in a new look.
Effective Monday, 6 July, screening time for your favorite drama series The Hostel is Monday at 7:35 p.m. Behind Closed Doors will air Wednesday to Friday at 8:05 p.m. and repeats on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Brave Woman will be showing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10 p.m. and repeats will air on Thursdays and Fridays at 11:30 a.m.
Brave Woman.
Do you like it? Does it mean I won't have to work in the nightclub anymore?
The prostitute is dead and the model is bored.
What is this table for? Mr. Stanio said that he's coming for dinner today. Just like that? He's making decisions without asking me if I'll be home or if I have guests? Well, Mr. Stanio said that he needs to talk to you. There's a problem in Turkey, but I'm not sure what that is.
A problem? He should better stop asking me to solve his problems, because I have many problems to take care of.
Mom, I went to Turkey.
This program is rated PG. It is suitable for children ages 8 and above, but parental guidance is advised as it might contain mild violence and mature situations.
7 dead, 14 wounded. Some of those aren't gonna make it. Incident room, 10 minutes, everybody. I need all the heads of all the major incident response teams in my office now. Yeah. They found 6 unused bullet casings, painted black, on the station platform. What is that?
Well, it could be a calling card, could be he got careless.
Happy 4th of July.
City Hall, Office of the Mayor.
Is about train station killings and what I need city to do. This isn't hoax. You finding 6 black shell casings on train station floor. You finding envelope in front of building. Inside first newspaper vending machine.
Hello?
All right, listen up, everyone. Shooter was black, white, Asian, tall, short, fat, thin, clean-shaven with a beard. Basically, we've got nothing to go on except these shell casings he left behind, and a call he made to City Hall about the killings. The call to the mayor was a recorded voice, and it wasn't long enough to trace.
Excuse me. This is what we found inside the vending machine at City Hall.
You the police liaison I asked the mayor for?
Yeah, Officer Len Hardy, Washington PD. Look, anything you need from the city, emergency services, I'll be on point.
Thanks. All right, here it is. Listen up, everyone. The end is night. The digger is loose, and there is no way to stop him. The digger? He will kill again at 12 each day for the next 2 days. I'm wanting $20 million in cash, which he will put into a bag and leave it 2 miles south of Route 66, on the west side of the Beltway, in the middle of the field. Pay to me the money by 1200 hours tomorrow. Only I am knowing how to stop the digger. If you apprehend me, he will keep killing. If you kill me, he will keep killing. So now we're dealing with 2 guys, and we've got less than 24 hours to find them.
Bobby, Shannon, come on, eat. Oh, hey, guys, can you stop leaving marzipan in my study? How many times I gotta tell you? All right. Analysis of document purporting to be from Thomas Jefferson, admitting to paternity of child by Sally Hemings, document examiner Parker Kincaid. Subject is single half-sheet folio with yellowing around the edges and with copper plate handwriting, also with...
Marzipan's gone missing again, Daddy.
He seems to have moved himself and his cage into my study again.
Is that the one from the president?
Yeah.
Is it worth a lot of money?
It will be if I can prove that it's really by him.
So you can't touch the paper, right?
Yeah, that's right. Do you know why we can't touch the paper?
Because the oil in our skin can cause a chemical reaction with the paper and damage it.
That's right.
What you're looking for is...
I'm looking for the truth, honey. And no matter how clever people try to be, it's always some little thing that gives them away. My job is to find it.
He's there. He's in the bushes, outside watching.
Show me. Come on. Now, what do we do when we think we see the boatman?
We put on our helmet, our shield, and we pick up our sword.
That's right. Okay. I got mine, too. Okay.
No. Where do you think you saw him?
I mean, I know he's dead in that. I know what happened to him,
Yeah.
but
It's okay. Just tell me.
there. He was right over there, under that tree. I saw him from my window.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut down that spooky old tree. Okay?
Yes, Mr. Director. The mayor and I are coordinating the money. She's having it pulled from the city coffers, and we'll take over from there. Hopefully, the money will lead us to the killer.
So the field where he wants to drop off is wide open, and you can see in every direction, which means anybody coming to get the money is going to see us. There is no way we can get anywhere near the drop point.
Okay. Looks like an ordinary canvas bag, but it's woven with strands of copper, making it an antenna. Transmitter is in the handle.
So we can stay away from the drop-off with our units, and regardless of what trick he has when he tries to pick up the money, we'll always know where it is.
That's right. Now, if he gets rid of the bag, we've got another surprise for him. At the bottom of each one is a dummy bundle with its own transmitter. There's no way he can hide this money.
We find the money, we find him.
No ID, but we found this recorder on him.
So everything is in place. All roads are closed within a 3-mile radius.
Great.
We got a hit and run downtown. Mail, no ID. We found this on him.
He's about train station killings and what I need city to do. This isn't hoax. You're finding 6 black shell casings on train station floor. You're finding envelope in front of building. Inside first newspaper vending machine.
Now we're in even bigger trouble. The guy who pulled the strings is dead.
What about the money?
Lock it up. We have to assume that the digger will kill tomorrow again at noon as instructed. But now there's nobody to give him his orders anymore. All we have to work with is the taped voice of a dead man in this.
I know our guys are still working on it.
But what?
There's this guy. Parker Kincaid. He ran the document examination department until 2 years ago. The guy's a legend. Used to call him the puzzle master.
Why'd he resign?
Personal reasons. It's complicated.
We don't have time for complications. Find me somebody else.
Now, this guy's the best. He's gonna give us the edge to stop that son of a bitch from killing somebody tomorrow.
Hey, I gotta go talk to these people, okay? Look, whatever this is about, Cage.
I assume you saw the news today about the shooting in the train station?
I'd like you to meet my boss, Margaret Lucas.
I can see your shoulder holster. You know I can't have guns around my kids, especially my son.
I'm sorry.
I hardly ever watch the news.
7 dead, a bunch more in the hospital. The shooter's primed to kill again tomorrow. The only person who can stop him is dead. The only clue we have is this.
I resign. Sorry. You're gonna have to get somebody else.
Sorry, maybe I didn't make myself clear. We need your expertise on the only physical clue we have in order to stop another massacre.
Look, Parker, I'm sorry. I know you want to make a clean break from law enforcement.
Look, I have to get back to my kids. I can't do anything for you.
Mr. Kincaid, I'm sure you have your reasons.
I do. Really good ones. I just can't be involved. That is a terrible thing that happened. I hope you get a break, but it can't be through me.
Look, Parker. We go. And I wouldn't be here if we didn't really need you. Can we work something out?
You know what happened, Cage. You know I have my reasons.
Yeah. Okay. I just thought it was worth a shot.
Buddy.
No deal.
All right, we got 20 hours left. Get me back to the office.
Look, I'm sorry. This was a waste of time.
We'll see.
you to put your things into neat piles I didn't mean on the floor.
Are you mad at me?
There is nothing that you could ever do that would make me mad at you.
Is everything okay?
Sure.
Will you make $1 million if you prove that Thomas Jefferson wrote that letter?
If anyone's gonna make $1 million off of it, it's not gonna be me.
Oops.
Where are you going?
I have to feed Marzipan. I need to get his food. It's Mom!
Oh, Shannon! Oh, honey.
Mommy!
Oh, Robbie. Oh, baby, I missed you guys so much.
The place was so beautiful, right on the water. And you know what? I am going to take you there one day, I promise. Hey, Parker.
Hey, John. Come on in.
Oh, no, actually, we're in a rush. Did you guys like the presents?
The Barbie was great. Dad took back the shirt and got one the right size.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I wanted you to have something till I got back. So I will bring the rest of your presents tomorrow.
Why don't you come in? Because Shannon made cookies.
I would love to, but Jerry's waiting for me in the car. We have to go to the kennel and pick up the dogs. Switched up all week. Come here, pumpkins. One more hug. We're gonna see a lot more of each other soon, okay? Okay. Parker, will you walk me to the car?
Oh, yeah. Come on, guys, get inside. Eat. You look good. Jerry's a lucky guy.
Oh, you're just saying that.
No, I mean it. I'm happy for you.
Well, I wish you hadn't said that because it makes what I have to do that much more difficult. I could have let the process server do this after the holiday.
Motion to modify child custody order? No, Joan, no.
This isn't about you, Parker. I appreciate everything you've done for them. Things have changed. I'm sober now. I've got my life under control. Jerry and I, we're getting married in the fall.
You want to bring them back to court and put them through all that again?
I'm hoping we can work it out between ourselves, but if we can't, then...
We have an arrangement that works. You have all the visitation that you want.
I don't want to be a part-time mother anymore. You've had them for 2 years, Parker. It's my turn now. I've got my life all sorted out. I can offer them a real home.
This is their home.
A home with a mom and a dad.
I'm their dad.
But I'm their mother. And I want to be with my kids for real, not just for a couple of hours at a time. And I think I'm entitled to ask for that.
Look, I want Joan to be a part of their lives, but the court agreed that it's best for them to stay with me, and nothing's changed about that. The timing couldn't be worse. Robbie's having nightmares about the boatman again.
Calm down, Parker.
Joan's the one who walked out of here 2 years ago.
Now she's getting married again, and she thinks she can just swoop in and demand custody? I'm scared, Penny. I know that she means it, and I think she's gonna do everything she can to get the kids back.
Look, I'm just on my way to court. Just send me the custody order so I can take a look at it, and we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
You finding envelope in front of building. Inside first newspaper vending machine. Inside newspaper vending machine. Is about train station killings. This isn't hoax.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah? Up and down? On side to side?
Mm-hmm.
You feeling okay, champ? Is there anything on your mind?
The boatman. Keep thinking about him, like he gets inside my head.
You know, he can never hurt you again. Ever. Not in a million, billion, trillion years.
Okay? Go to sleep. I'll sit right here.
Describe what you saw.
People were screaming and falling and trying to run, but there was nowhere to run to, and the shots just kept coming, and you couldn't tell where they were coming from, and everyone was just falling and screaming, and you couldn't get away, like no one could get away. And the shots just kept coming, and he just kept shooting and shooting and shooting.
Also, among the 7 dead are the parents of 2 children, ages 6 and 9. Stay tuned for further details about this horrendous and shocking event. This is Sandra Weller reporting for WNKW.
We are working round the clock with the FBI and the City Police Department to apprehend this criminal. We are aware of the next threat, but we have no indication of what the location might be.
2 more victims just died.
Any sign of the materials and elementals lab report on the note yet?
Nothing, but I'll get on it.
Hey, security just called about some guy you were expecting.
Welcome back, Mr. Kincaid. We're expecting a report from Materials and Elemental and a site profile at any moment. They'll be working in the documents lab. I heard you helped set it up?
Security had my ID tag already made out. How did you know that I'd changed my mind?
I saw how important your family was to you. I knew you'd think about the families torn apart yesterday and ask yourself what the right thing to do would be. It's almost 8 o'clock. We've got 4 hours left.
My kids are not to know I came here to help. Nobody can know them. Nobody.
It's a big change from everyone trying to grab the headlines.
Well, I mean it. I had to lie to them about where I was going today. Not even the babysitter knows the real reason. I got divorced 2 years ago. One of the conditions for me having custody instead of my ex-wife is that I work at home and I don't do anything to endanger the kids. I just found out that the custody case got reopened. Their mother cannot know about it.
All right, listen. If you need to do this anonymously, that's fine by me. All that matters is catching this guy. Okay, without anyone to call him off, I suspect he's going to carry out his orders to keep killing.
Triple espresso with a shot of half and half, right?
Thank you.
Now, analysis and notes suggest that the writer was foreign-born. Been in the country 2 or 3 years. Poorly educated, at most the equivalent of 2 years high school. Probable IQ, 100, plus or minus 10 points.
Yeah, textbook analysis. Very impressive, very thorough, and completely wrong. This guy's not a foreigner. He's been living here for years. He's well educated, and his IQ is near genius level. Let's take a look at the words on the page. Let's see here. One might misspeak and say the end is night, but you wouldn't write it. Not unless you wanted to throw people off the scent. The same thing with I am knowing.
Sounds foreign.
Yeah, it sounds fake. Sounds like he wants us to believe he's foreign.
Okay, if he's not from the U.S., though, why would he write 1,200 hours?
He did that once, but then here he writes 12.
If he's so smart, what about the spelling errors?
Oh, you mean there instead of there? Well, most people would make that mistake. that they were keyboarding at high speed, but it's much rarer in handwriting. Unless you wanted people to think you were dumb.
Does the letter give us anything?
Gives us the Devil's Teardrop.
The what?
The Devil's Teardrop.
I remember that case. He was a serial killer. He left notes on the victim's body.
He did what the writer here does. Places a dot above his lowercase i's and makes a small tail upwards.
Could it be the same guy?
That guy was beaten to death in his cell years ago.
Okay, you've shot down every theory about who this guy was, so do you have your own theory?
Not yet.
Come on, the letter's got to give you something about him. What his state of mind was, what he was likely to have planned next.
I'm a scientist, not a fortune teller.
Well, you said he was smart.
Yeah, well, IQ is measurable. It's a metric. I can tell you he's smart, but I can't tell you what he's gonna do next. I can't tell you anything about his character.
The guy is a psychopath. You can't tell anything from his handwriting. Come on.
Anybody who says that they can analyze personality from handwriting alone is lying. It's like reading tarot cards and tea leaves. I mean, it's bogus.
People make a living doing it.
Yeah, people make a living writing horoscopes. It's got just as much to do with reality.
Chief?
I'm gonna have to use the document lab if I'm gonna analyze this further.
Yeah, absolutely.
Strange.
What?
There's no tremble.
Tremble.
Yeah, people fake a handwriting, try to write in a way that can't be traced back to them. They're going against years of muscle memory, forcing themselves to overturn, the habits of a lifetime. And usually that results in a shaky kind of lettering. I'm not seeing this here.
Which means?
Well, either he had ice in his veins or this is his actual handwriting. He was so sure that we would never even get close to him, he didn't even bother to disguise it.
Do we have anything?
Yeah, there's something here, under the surface. Take a look. Indentations. He wrote something on a sheet of paper on the same pad before he wrote this. Here, first column, lowercase,